guys out.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League, the semi-professional.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons Master League. I'm your host Vagish Godslayer Bhan. Unlike what you're reading on screen, I am not God 5. It's Godslayer. It's just that my production is way too lazy to correct font sizes. But moving on,
my name's correct. My name's absolutely correct over there.
yes, I was going to introduce you, man. Jeez. Well, that's Angela Gonzalez, who is our resident analyst for Clash Royale and Dota 2. Now, moving on, today's is ESL India Premiership and the entire season. And all the 3 seasons. Guess what? They're sponsored by Omen by HP, HyperX, and Intel, while the presentation honors are being meted out to Nodwin Gaming and ESL.
Yes.
Well, that's a call out to everybody who's come together to make ESL India Premiership a reality. Now, moving on to the first game at hand.
Yep.
Clash Royale today on this amazing, beautiful Sunday evening where Delhi does definitely make you feel like, hey, I would have been better off sitting at home. It's hot.
That's so true.
It's hot.
It's very hot. It's extremely hot.
My Kashmiri genes do not agree with this kind of weather. It is a crime. I think we should stand for reservation for better temperature more than jobs now. I think sooner or later that's going to be a problem.
And it's only May. I mean, it's only April. May has to still come, and then there's June.
Summer is coming.
Summer
is coming. Summer. I think yeah, Delhi's like the exact opposite of GOT. They're just crying out loud, whining like hogs. Winter is coming here. Like everybody's like, oh, summer is coming. Oh, we're gonna melt. But moving on to the first participant in this Clash Royale game, we have Arpan Christian. He has been our ex-winner, champion in Clash Royale multiple times, known personally by me as the Dab Boy. So before we head off into the introduction of Arpan Christian, all right.
I like that crown.
Yeah, like Angie and me were discussing a bit recently that how we like those Photoshop crowns.
Yeah.
But what made me cringe was the fact that I cannot bear seeing Arpan Christian in a jacket, dude. Even an intro video is making me sweat. It's that bad in Delhi. And plus the dust and the pollution doesn't make it any better.
I think we should also have a weather report segment every day before the ESL India.
I think we should do that, yeah. I think everybody should know. In fact, we should also get my cat here. He'll just sit and just stare. He'll be a good addition. People will actually believe that he's a plushie.
That is a fact. Now, talking about Arpan Krishnan in general, he is as of now sitting on top of the leaderboard. He's got 3 victories to himself and 9 points. So that is pretty interesting to see for him. I mean, he's the top player. Of course, he is the winner of the summer and fall. So lots of expected from this young man.
Yes.
And he's won against Mukul, who's also the winter finale winner. So he's already defeated the reigning champion once. And he's also won against PP Prashant from Bangalore.
PP.
And Saif Patel, who is from Beirut. So he seems very, very confident coming into this game. And if he does win this game, he's going to be sitting with 12 points and still sitting on top of the leaderboard. And of course, I think making his way to the land finale. I think he's, one game away to making his way to the land finale.
Alrighty then. So let's quickly take a look at the opposition here. Jimit Bhatt. So, no offense to Jimit, but me and Angie were merely remarking about the fact that my point was the bullet point A was that, why does this guy look like a young Javed Jafri? And Angie's like, no, he just looks like he's had a long day at school and now he has a crown of freedom. Wah! Wah! Angie Mata, aap dhanya ho, ma.
He doesn't look like he wants to wear that crown. I think we should next time take a picture with a real crown on the head.
Yeah, he's just like looking very like. It's like a contrasting photo. Look at this. Arpan is like so happy with the crown. Jimit's like so like, I don't know why they put a crown on my head. I don't like it. But moving on, let's take a deeper look at these two players and get to know them better.
Yeah.
So, not much of a difference in crowns when it comes to both of them. Minor is the favorite card for Arpan, whereas the Three Musketeers are the favorite card for Jimit.
Yes.
Predominantly, both of them have had experience in the ESL India Premiership before.
As of now, though, Jimit, he is a boy from Mumbai and he's doing not that great. He sits 9th on the leaderboard as of now. He's played 2 games in the ESL India Premiership, but he has lost both of them. Now, just to give him a few props, he lost against Bryn, who is our 2016 champion, and Prashant, who's just been on a roll of his own and trying out different decks. And Jimit has only played 2 games, so he's still got about another 5 games, if I'm not wrong, to play. So his chances of making it higher on the leaderboard are pretty high. It's not that he's going to be sitting at the spot on 9th. His favorite cards, like you mentioned, is the Three Musketeers, and as of I don't think he's played many games on live screen till now. So this will be his first time we'll be seeing how he plays live, because I really want to know what is the kind of deck he likes to play. What are his favorite cards other than the Three Musketeers?
Alright, so let's quickly understand the bans first coming in from both the players here. So Three Musketeers banned outrightly by Arpan Christian, which also happens to be Jimit's favorite card, whereas Jimit Bhatt has gone ahead and banned the Giant.
Very good ban coming in there from Jimit. I mean, Arpan has won all his 3 games based off the Giant.
Yeah.
So this would be where Arpan would have to be a little careful on what he's going to opt to go. He still has the Golem if he decides to play that. Arpan is pretty good on the Golem too. He likes to play the Dark Prince also, the normal Prince. He likes to play the Electro Wizard, the P.E.K.K.A. would be another choice that he could go with. He could also opt to go just for the mini P.E.K.K.A. to counter the Giant if Jimit plays it in the place of Arpan. So I'm looking to see if Arpan decides to go with that. But for now, Jimit getting that ban on his Three Musketeers is a little risky for him. He would have to opt for a complete different strategy and understand how Arpan plays in the first game to be able to make sure that he doesn't really take the 3rd loss for himself in the ESL India Premiership.
Alrighty then, so let's quickly head off into the game and see what's in store for us. This amazing game between Arpan Christian and Jimit Bhatt, casted by none other than the man behind the screen, but then again with the voice, the ever mysterious, the ever super excel Manoj Gola.
Hey guys, and Vagish, thank you for that intro. This is Manoj Super Gola casting for you. Today's Clash Royale game between our multi-time champion Arpan and of course one of his close friends Jimit, who's been with us in the Masters League for quite a while. I guess all 3 years that we've been running the Clash Royale tournament, both the players have been with us for a long time. And like Angie has said, it's good for Jimit that banned his Giant card so that he won't be able to use his double knight pushes that have been so deadly in the past few days. Arpan has won most of his games thanks to these 2 huge hulking knights pushing the ever hulking Giant forward onto his enemy's towers. And having said that, we're almost a minute into the game and Arpan has made bold moves. Now he has a P.E.K.K.A. in his deck. A P.E.K.K.A. is a sort of a replacement for a Giant, except for the fact that P.E.K.K.A. starts going after whatever is closest to him instead of just straight for buildings. But so far, it looks like it has worked out in his favor. Arpan has managed to bring down Jimit's tower to almost 1200 HP. Decent defense by Arpan right there. Uses Zap to destroy, almost destroy the minion horde. Oh, but look over here on the left. Jimit's Dark Prince actually managed to reach the tower, and thanks to the 3 range goblins behind him, or spear goblins rather, has managed to completely shut down the tower from full HP to 0. And now he's trying to do the same thing over here on the right. It looks like he might actually be successful. So although Arpan has made the first push into Jimit's territory and has brought Jimit's towers down, Jimit has actually managed to expertly move around whatever Arpan has thrown at him and bring the tower down completely. So now we see the first P.E.K.K.A coming out of Arpan. Maybe he's planning to start a huge push behind this P.E.K.K.A, but first he has to worry about this push over here on the left. Jimit's Dark Prince has been stopped by Arpan's own Dark Prince, and thanks to a couple of shots from one of the archers, he has managed to completely stop Jimit in his tracks. But then again, his own push on the right has suffered a similar fate. Maybe something would change thanks to this new Dark Prince coming in. And the miner, of course. All Arpan has to do right now is bring the tower down to 240 HP and then poison it, which is almost exactly what he's done, as I say it. But unfortunately for him, even if he brings down the tower, which is sitting at 38 HP, Jimit already has a lead of one tower. And now thanks to this poison, he just brought down another tower. And with 2 crowns, he wins the first game over Arpan. So this is quite strange. Like I've seen deck archetypes of this caliber play against each other, but never in this weird tradition. Like towers are going down from full to 0 HP in such strange fashion that it's just thrown me off. I hope game 2 is a little more familiar to what I'm used to, but you know, I think I can take a few new tricks. I'm not an old dog yet. So looks like we are jumping into game 2. Jimit has decided to stick with the same deck while Arpan has switched to a crossbow deck. Okay, so that's interesting. Usually when you lose to a deck that has a minion horde or a dark prince or a poison in it, you don't usually go for more building based decks because they really melt down super quickly when faced against a poison and a miner. Crossbow does target the Goblin Hut, but thanks to the huge HP pool of the Goblin Hut, it has taken quite a while for it to start beating down on it. Now Arpan is in some serious trouble right now. He has to expend that fireball completely to take care of the minion horde. I have to say though, that is a positive elixir trade for Arpan, but he did lose his crossbow and didn't manage to do much damage to Jimit's tower. Again, another Goblin Hut coming out from Jimit right there. This game has become a game of slow, small pushes and poisons. We don't see either player making any clutch moves. I mean, what clutch move can you do if your main building damage card is a crossbow, right? You just have to place it at the right time. Try to avoid whatever distracting units Jimit has placed before it. And eventually just hope that your crossbow targets your enemy's tower for just long enough to bring it down. Again, Mega Minion over here on the left tanking the tower for quite a bit, giving Arpan's archer so much time. Okay, what is happening here? Jimit is just bleeding elixir. Has he disconnected? Is he lagging? Well, unfortunately for him, there are no redos in the ESL India Premiership, especially for Clash Royale. So yeah, so I guess Arpan has realized that Jimit has lagged out and just wants to finish this so that they can get to the next matchup. Yeah. Expends a fireball right there to no immediate effect, but it does bring the tower down quickly, and we can move on to the next game where we might actually see some proper action. So this is quite unfortunate for Jimit right there, losing game 2 like in such a horrible fashion. But we'll see if game 3 turns it around for Jimit. So the score right now is at 1 each. Both the Masters players are on even footing. But I guess Jimit must be feeling very, very disappointed for losing his lead in such a way. Like, can't really do anything about it. Excuse me, folks. I just had to mute myself there for a sneeze. So game 3, Arpan has switched to a balloon-based deck with a P.E.K.K.A kicker in it. What is he planning to do though? Like, Jimit has basically read Arpan's mind and has included an Inferno Dragon in his deck, which is quite dangerous for Arpan because both his huge units, which is a balloon and a P.E.K.K.A, go down super easy, super quickly to an Inferno Dragon. And this has put Arpan in quite a daze right now. He has to take some time, think about how he has to outwit Jimit and basically outplay and play around Jimit's Inferno Dragon. He has to bait the dragon out somehow. Like, he has to do something to bait it out. And again, I think Jimit's lagging one more time. This is a sad state of affairs, folks. Like, Jimit is going to lose this game if he lags out again. Even though he has the type advantage, he has the deck advantage. This is just sad. I really don't know what Jimit is going to do if he's just going to keep lagging out. Well, if Jimit does have such a great deck advantage that even if he lags out, he should be able to 3-crown this pretty easily. But maybe not. We'll just have to wait and see. 1076 HP left on his tower, on his last tower. But yeah, like I said, 3-crown right there. Maybe Arpan was being a good sport and did not defend Jimit's push. Maybe he wanted to give Jimit the same advantage that he has gotten, bringing the score to 2-1. And this actually might look like it might be a 5-game match. So let's... before we jump into game 4 though, because this might actually be the last game. If Jimit wins this one, the score is going to be 3-1 and we're going to award this victory to him. My product head just looked at me and just said something that I could not decipher. So I'm just gonna take care of this long pause and thank our sponsors. Omen by HP, our title sponsor, giving us all the resources and the help we need to bring these wonderful esports to you every day. We also have HyperX, Red Bull, Intel, and of course, us good folks at Nordwind Gaming and ESL India, bringing all of this wonderful esports action to you. Having said that, let's jump into game 4. And Jimit has decided to stick with the deck that gave him the 3-crown victory over Arpan, even though we all know Arpan just took it easy for now. And Arpan, however, has decided to switch gears. He's included a Royal Ghost, a Flying Machine. Those are some really good replacements for the balloon. Like, he had a lot of trouble trying to push with the balloon because Jimit had his Inferno Dragon ready, like trigger finger, and it just destroys big units very quickly. Arpan has prepared for the Inferno Dragon very well. He has the Zap and the Evis, but he decides to use neither. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what Arpan is planning to do. I'm sure the Royal Ghost will not reach the tower thanks to the ram being put down. That splash damage from the Royal Ghost, man. It just brought down both the barbarians popping out of the ram. And their sad story is they're never going to reach Arpan's tower either. So this is like a game of back and forth. Like, nothing is really reaching the end goal that it was meant to reach. And look at that lucky placement of the flying machine right there, just out of range of Jimit's tower. That's what making all the difference. Like, it completely stopped the bandit, the Dark Prince, and the Ice Golem that Jimit just hoped that would reach the tower. Like, I see the same thing happening over and over again. Units running out of range, units staying out of range. The Royal Ghost will be able to take one hit off onto the tower. And Arpan again grabbed a couple of elixir before he decided to put the P.E.K.K.A down. We are in the last minute of double elixir. And fortunately for Arpan right there, he has those Royal Guards to distract Jimit's huge push, but not before his tower takes a beating. I'm guessing it's going to go down to 500 HP thanks to that. Oh, wow. A very well-timed zap right there stops the ram and avoids the damage that it was about to do. It probably would have brought the tower down if it actually made contact. But 364 HP left. That's not in. That's too high for a poison to bring it down. And Arpan takes advantage of this and just puts down an aggressive P.E.K.K.A. That's something you don't often see. We can ignore this ram making contact with Arpan's tower and bringing it down because the real action is happening on Jimit's side of the board. Look at that. Two Evis just spamming their zaps onto the Inferno Dragon, not giving it any time to build up any damage. And this would have actually been a 3-crown victory if the P.E.K.K.A. was actually successfully distracted by the Ice Golem. But yeah, Arpan actually takes game number 4. And I'm actually eager to see what happens in game number 5. So just let's just jump right to it. Okay, so I think Angie has the same revelation that I have. We see a golem and then we see a Sparky. And we all know what happened the last time these two units met on the battlefield. Fireball to take care of the flying machine that Arpan has put out. So both players are pretty much the same elixir-wise. Neither player has much of an advantage except the fireball damage that Jimit has managed to bring onto Arpan's tower. So we're going to see a lot of units being spammed back and forth until finally Arpan reveals that he has a golem in his deck. So that Sparky is about to drop some hella damage. Wait, whose zap was that? I think that was Jimit right there trying to preemptively zap a minion horde or a bats that Arpan was about to put down, or maybe even a skeleton army. Who knows, right? If you're using the magic archer, if you're using the hunter, why not use the skeleton army as well? I know why, because it's a very horrible card for now. Again, we see a lot of skirmishes going on in the center of the battlefield. Neither player actually reaching the other player's towers. Of course, Arpan was able to push one of his princes into Jimit's tower, and he was able to get the first joust damage off. But that doesn't really do anything, right? If the tower's alive, the tower's alive. So we are entering the last minute, which is going to be double elixir. I guess we are going to see the first golem come out of Arpan right now. Arpan knows Jimit has a Sparky, and now that he's seen the Sparky, he just has to defend against the Sparky and put down his first golem. So we're going to see some huge pushes coming out from behind the golem. Ice Spirit right there used to distract the Sparky's first attack, and we see another Sparky come down. Oh, the zap was just a little bit too late, and the Sparky was able to get his damage off onto this prince. And yeah, the golem without protection from the Sparky is just nothing. It just couldn't even reach the tower, right? But 2 more hits from the Sparky and just got brought down. And the Sparky himself dies to itself. It's a machine, right? We should call it it. The Sparky itself dying to the flying machine. Ice Spirit freezes the prince in space, making it a prime target for the Sparky's slow but powerful attack. Arpan has his finger on the zap ready. Maybe he could have waited just a second longer to get the spear goblins into the zap's damage as well, but you know, better safe than sorry. Aggressive golem right there on the left, being met by a defensive Sparky. Yeah, it's really strange to have the Sparky being used in this fashion. I know we've seen this before, especially like on stream itself, and I was casting the match, but it's still strange. Unfortunately for Jimit, the Sparky just couldn't kill the golem in time. That's a first. bringing this tower down to 433 HP. Oof. Arpan doesn't have a zap ready. He has to sacrifice the Ice Spirit to distract the Sparky. And yeah, half a second longer and the tower would have taken a huge blow from the Sparky again. I'm literally sitting on the edge of my seat as I realize Arpan doesn't have a fireball. Arpan has a poison, but will he have enough time to rotate it into again? He has to defend the Sparky. He opts to use the poison in self-defense mode, and Jimit just getting frustrated that he is not able to reach Arpan's towers. Again, Jimit sacrifices a fireball because there is just no other way to defend against Arpan's onslaught. Like one more hit from the flying machine or one more well-placed poison, and that is Jimit's end of story. And yeah, there we go. Well, it's been a long back and forth, possibly repetitive gameplay coming out from both of the players, but finally we have a clear winner, which is Arpan. And I honestly have not much to say about what has happened with decks that they chose, because I sort of prefer the clutch plays, the balloons, the lava hounds, and maybe even a Three Musketeer deck. But since Three Musketeers have been banned, we are stuck with these decks. And I actually want to listen to what Angie has to say about this. So we're going to go back to the studio in just a bit. So guys, stay tuned.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons Master League, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by ESL and Nordun Gaming. Now, we just witnessed an action-packed Clash Royale game between Arpan and Jimit. But
yeah.
Drawn out to all the 5 games, Angie. Drawn out to all the 5 games.
Okay, so I'm only going to basically talk about the first, the third, and the fifth game. Because in the second game, we had Jimit who lagged out. So I don't really think that game could be even counted. But talking about the first game, we did see that we had Arpan who decided to go with the P.E.K.K.A, which is a little expected from him. And Jimit finally has shown me what he really likes to play. It is the Goblins. And he's part of the Goblin Gang army of
the Goblin
ESL
Party.
India Premiership. Yes, he loves to play the Goblins. So the P.E.K.K.A literally got countered completely in game 1 by Jimit, because the only thing that counters a P.E.K.K.A is cards that have low elixir and who are in a bunch out. So the Goblin Gang, the Goblin Hut, Spear Goblins, he had all of them to counter the P.E.K.K.A, and that's why I think he even went ahead and banned out the Giant, because he knew that if he gave Arpan the Giant, it would get a little more difficult for him to counter it, because at least the P.E.K.K.A turns around and starts hitting other cards, but the Giant just walks away and just goes and starts hitting your tower. So the first game, Jimit played beautifully well. I mean, this is the first time I think I've seen Arpan put in a tight spot where he has to actually calculate every single move that he's making. In the second game, okay, we never talk about second game. It was a DC game. In the third game, we saw Arpan go into a little more diverse kind of form. He went into his balloon, and that is another card that I really like about the way Arpan plays it. But the thing was that by then, Jimit hadn't really figured out that Arpan is going to play a flying deck. So he had taken all ground defense, whether it be the battle ram, whether it be the bandit, whether it be the prince. So the golem got that, the balloon got that opening to reach his star. But I like the way Jimit really didn't give much heed to the balloon, and he went ahead and pushed his own. And that kind of needs a lot of experience to do, because you're not going to be able to defend, but you know that if you go aggressive, you'll be able to take it down faster. And that's what Jimit worked out. And also, I like the way Arpan has gone back to playing his Expo. In game 1, in the first game of the ESL India Premiership, Arpan decided to play the Expo, and that worked in his favor. And when he tried to do it in the second game, he would have actually taken that game to he would have actually won that game even if Jimit wouldn't have DC'd, because we kind of figured out by the mid game that the Expo always counters any tarred unit. So the Goblin Hut would fall down, and that means Jimit wouldn't get the option of continuously having this chip damage hitting Arpan's star. And if you look at the fifth game, this is again where I call this Mukul's strategy, because Mukul was the first one to play this in the ESL India Premiership. A Sparky as a defensive unit, then being an offensive unit. And I feel Jimit's only mistake in the 5th game was that he didn't really get the time to use his giant and go ahead, because he was constantly defending against this big golem that was coming towards him. And Arpan kind of understood that, you know, as long as he keeps the aggression going, he's not going to give Jimit the time to kind of play his cards. And if he has to keep defending, he's going to take the ball in his court. So keeping all that in mind, I would say that Jimit put up one of the best performances as of now I've seen against Arpan. But Arpan being Arpan, and of course a 2-time champion of the ESL India Premiership, was outsmarting it at all points. Yeah. I would love to see these people even play at the grand finale, to be more
I'm
precise.
still dabbing.
You're still dabbing because you know how cool he is.
Yeah. Well, that sums up today's Clash Royale game. We'll be taking a short break. On the other side, we have an entire amazing game of Counter-Strike Global Offensive lined up. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, Every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2 and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League. I'm very happy. God Slayer, not God 5, is very happy because 81 is here.
Thank you, Vagish. Gods, it's not God 5. Oh, it's God 5.
Yeah.
Is that how you spell your nickname?
Actually,
you replace the S with a 5.
So the E and the S are supposed to be like 5 and 3. They're
Yeah,
supposed to be like
that.
my
yeah,
lucky
yeah,
numbers
lead
and
speak,
shit.
I get it. Even 81 is ADI, lead speak.
Yeah.
I get it. I invented it. My original nick was a complete mess of lead speak, basically.
Yeah, but I think Kunal's way too lazy to do it. I think the impending marriage has made him very sluggish.
Okay, well, that's disappointing, right? The marriage should make him excited.
Yeah, it just made him
by the way, in
sluggish.
case nobody knows this, by the way, but Kunal, our head of production,
Already done that yesterday.
is going to get married. Well,
Done that yesterday.
It's okay.
And
There was
we're
no
going to remind
CS
him
yesterday.
every day
There
on
was no
stream.
CS yesterday, so for all the CS viewers
Yes,
watching.
for CS. So everybody who knows Kunal in the CS circuit.
So yeah, if production goes to crap in 2 days, it's because Kunal is getting married soon.
Yeah, and he
he'll be missing.
didn't bother to like create a contingency plan. Because
No, our
that's
contingency
Kunal.
plan is sitting there. Actually, don't worry, our production is not going to suffer. We have very capable people in office.
Now moving on.
See, like he's so flattered in our ear, right?
I am definitely, trust me, I live with that guy.
Yeah.
So trust me. But moving on, we have a Counter-Strike Global Offensive game in the offing. We have Brutality versus War Gaming. So let's quickly take let's quickly take a look at Brutality. Alrighty then, Venom, Juventa, Fox, A-Star and Master Operix.
Yes, I know. I said this the first time we saw them on the Premiership, right? That I'm so glad that they've gone back to this lineup, right? It's the original Brutality from 2015, the one before I joined and screwed everything up.
Before you came
for
and
them.
polluted their lineup.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
so,
the creep you are.
Exactly, yeah. So before I screwed up their lineup, right?
So happy.
And this is the original one, and with especially with A-Star back, I was actually talking to Fett last night, and we both are in agreement actually. This Brutality lineup, I think, and we both think that the Entity game, which is I think Brutality Entity is on 26th or 27th of April. I think that game, I think Brutality is going to win that because A-Star is Entity's kryptonite. So yeah, but I mean that's for another day. Today it's not that game, unfortunately. Today is a much more straightforward game for Brutality, let's say.
Alrighty then. So since we've already seen how would I say, put faces to the names of Brutality peeps, let's put faces to the name Wargaming. Wargaming.
I was just, you caught me staring so deeply into my screen, right? It's because I was looking at Wargaming's stats for this Premiership, and they've played 6 games, out of which already, by the way, this is going to be their 7th game, and in their 6 games, they've lost 5.
So
the only one they've beaten, the only one they've beaten is Whack Band, who were playing with 4 players. So I think War is very akin to EXE or Elements from the seasons gone by last year.
Yeah, I think they're starting with idolizing lower run teams first and then moving on to the better.
No, I think I don't know. I think maybe War is trying to break the record of 0-7 or
maybe.
1-7. They're trying to go like they're trying to go.
No,
they cannot
beat. They cannot beat excellence of execution. That was dismal.
0-7, yes, but I mean there are more games, so. Percentage-wise, actually, they still couldn't because it was 0.
Exactly.
But
I'm wondering. I'm like,
I'm not very good at math, okay? Like,
yeah, sure.
But anyways, I want to take this back to Brutality. By the way, I was looking at I want to take this back to Brutality. I was looking at the earlier results as well, right? I missed the game 80 versus Brutality because I was ill, right? No, was it? I'm so confused at this point. My mind is so garbled. No, I missed it. I agree.
Have a fresh start.
No, I remember I was watching it while in my blanket, shivering in the cold and under the influence of azithromycin as well. So it was not a very good time. By the way, I do want to say thank you for all the well wishes that day on chat to everyone who was there on chat. I am better now, slightly. Not completely, but the show must go on types. But yeah, like I noticed that Brutality versus ATE, right? They made a little bit of a meal of things. I think that game versus ATE, I thought it would have been more like 16-7, 16-8 sort of. It did end up 16-11, and I think that is a sort of screw up in the veto as well, that they let Inferno go through. I thought that they should have pushed it towards maybe the overpass, the trains, the nuke, something like that. Something that a new team like AT Gaming, they wouldn't have the cohesion and they wouldn't be able to play the synergy to play together in a map that is so tactical. So I think the Inferno veto was a bit of an issue. That's why later when we do get into this veto, I really hope that Brutality has banned out the cache and the mirages and things like that. But yeah, I mean I think that Brutality this season is really strong, and I will be very surprised if we don't see them in the top 4.
All right, so let's quickly head off to my pick and veto and see what's in store for us there. So we see Overpass, Addy's favorite map.
Yeah, and I like what Brutality did there, by the way. They pushed War right to the brink with they banned out Cache, they banned out Mirage, they even banned out Cobble. And I know, by the way, Brutality's least favorite map is Cobble.
Yes.
And they left it for the end, just teasing War and making sure they're like, "Arey Mirage ban kar diya, arey Cache ban kar diya. Now what do we do?" Right? And I love this. They left War with the impossible decision of Nuke and Overpass. So it was obviously going to be Overpass, right? They're not going to pick Nuke because it is completely a strat-heavy map. And I'm glad. I mean, we're seeing something other than Inferno, which is also a relief. Yes. Yeah, which is also a relief. But I love what Brutality's done in this veto.
I think a map video is in order here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's quickly take the viewers through what exactly Overpass is all about.
Overpass. A mix of vertical and classical designs makes this map one of the favorites of many professional teams. The team that controls the connector usually comes out with the win.
When's your birthday?
It's gone, Adi. The birthday is gone. You owe me a gift. But yes, the gift of today's just so that we bring you guys in the loop, Adi and me were discussing about my birthday and me extorting some gifts from him because he's filthy rich and he's from South Bombay. And I'm a RA colony resident. But moving on, that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing you can say.
That's actually, you could like the worst part of Goregaon East is what you picked, RA colony.
That's the worst thing you can say.
Only people from Bombay will get the reference.
RA colony, it seems. But moving on, the gift we have for you guys today is this excellent game on Overpass between Brutality and Wargaming. I'm pretty sure
one-sided.
Yeah, I think Adi and me will be on consensus here that Brutality.
I think Rix and A-Star are gonna have a field day. A-Star loves to lurk, loves to get backstabs on people. He especially loves pushing A long and even B short at times, right? He does weird shit basically. That's the only way to put it. He
like
literally does weird shit
synergy.
And nobody.
You mentioned the word synergy. I think Brutality is showcasing some of that
and plus,
excellent synergy.
Also, they learned Overpass from me, so. If they play that the kind of Overpass I like to play, they're gonna make it very, very one-sided very soon. And especially if they win the knife round, right? And if they start at the CT side, I could see this being below 16-5. I'm gonna bring this back now. This was the last used on TV. This is gonna be a spanking, ladies and gentlemen.
And I hope that since and when I say use the word we, me and Adi are siding with Brutality, I hope people will not take offense and like post weird.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I'm a fanboy.
I'm
a Brutality fanboy.
I'm Adi fan. I'm Adi fanboy.
See, listen,
so
this was about Reckoning Esports as well, right? About the Dota thing. He did not mean offense, by the way. Secondly, Vagish is not a Dota analyst.
I've never mentioned that I'm an analyst.
Yeah, so he was just making a nice National Geographic reference, and I already apologized to Reckoning Esports for your offense to them. But like I mean, see, even talking about war, right now, I'm talking straight from the numbers, right? 1 through 5, one win,
the
5
stats
losses.
Don't show. The
stats show that you need to buck up, right? That you're not good enough right now. And Brutality has just been looking better and better with every game they play. And I do want to mention as well, Brutality is sort of like a weekend team because they're self-funded and they're not really.
Like a boot camp team. They're not a boot camp team. They're like individuals. Juventus married and stuff. So so everybody's got their own priorities and stuff. But what is priority right now is
winning this game.
The game. Let's head off there and see what's in store for us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another day, another matchup in the ESL India Premiership. This is the Masters Division, and well, today we have Brutality and War going up against each other on Overpass. But in the meantime, let me take this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Ranjit Mamba Senior Patel, and alongside me, I have the God of Words, so then Blair Wambam.
The God of Words. All right. High praise right there, but Brutality, War. This looks a little mismatched, right? I mean, at least based on whatever I've seen or heard of War so far, they have been struggling in the Masters League, and now they're going to be facing off with a team who have had their share of struggles, but they have looked very solid indeed. As Juventa opens things up, they're going to be playing retake. What is Kazi doing? I have no idea. He has the C4 as well. The bomb is dropped, and War have literally handed that round to Brutality on a silver platter.
I'm not quite certain either. Kazi was just walking in, but in the meantime, he's trying to salvage something from the round, but he's going to get taken. I'm a clean sheet coming from Brutality. It's kind of surprising that Kazi actually pushed up with the C4. They had the smoke as well. At least could have gone to the plant to get that extra, dose of money, but well, he's not going to do that. Or I'm just assuming that he didn't know that he had the C4 and someone dropped it to him.
Yeah, but considering that they had such a it was a pretty nice execute, right? I mean, they had the smokes, they had the flashbangs, they had the Molotovs, and yet they just... And when they didn't spot anyone, they should have realized it's going to be retake setup, and you expect that boost over there. So the first guy getting taken down, understandable, but the carrier just running up, that's a little bit of a mess, so to speak. They've gone for the force buy, of course. Deagle's coming out. They have a couple of P250s, one flashbang, armor, and almost everyone. Saz has gone for a full eco. I think he is going to be going for the op buy as soon as he can, but Juventa opening things up, he will find oops. And I'm not a big fan of this from War, if you're noticing, right, Mamba? Like, they're playing extremely passively, hoping for a pick, considering they don't have the weaponry or the range. They would rather just gather up together and try and go for a faster push, one would assume.
Well, that's true, and they're way too spread up, but finally they're taking control of the toilet area. And well, Saz is going to find the refrag onto A-Star while Rix gets taken down. And so by Baba, Juventus again the headshot onto Baba. And Saz is going to go down as well. And look at that. Juventus just tapping people inside toilets towards A-Long and, casually taking down 3 people and getting a few frags to his name as well. So the second round as well going in the favor of the CT side, and it was quite surprising that the Cherry side went in for a complete eco. And this just sounds like that Epsilon-ish setup, when even though they know that they haven't gotten the bomb down, they go in for a complete eco, and when they do get the bomb down, they actually go in for a force buy.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't get the bomb down the first round, right? So going for the force buy kind of makes sense. Now it's going to be an eco. They did get a couple of kills, and now they're going to come barreling out towards Fountain, where Juventus is going to continue where he left off. He should be careful. He's going to run out of bullets, and he will get taken down. However, his teammate is ready and waiting. A-Star with MV7 in hand, looking to mop up the remaining players. Finds 2 quick kills, SMG money. 3 kills for him, that's money in the bank, and they will salvage the M4 as well. So just 1 casualty for Brutality and just 1 SMG loss, and now is going to be the buy from War. Now, Saz, he went for an eco 2 rounds in a row, so he has the op out. I'm curious to see what he's going to do with this. So, because he had, been a little stingy with his money just to get this big green gun out, and he's going to be facing off against A-Star with the op. That is, that's curious. I think he has a spawn, so he's going to go for the fast shot towards mid. Let's see what he does with this.
No, but we've actually been seeing A-Star pick up the op a lot, and he's gonna go around the corner and not being able to connect the shot. The T actually just crossing just in time, so waiting it out towards Fountains, might just not be able to find the frag. It's gonna fall back though, falling back to safety. And yeah, we've been seeing A-Star pick up the op a little too much on Brutality, and Rix is giving it up quite happily. So I think this is something they are trying out, maybe just for a double op setup, just in case they need one. But yeah, they're pretty confident. Oh, look at that though, the expectation, and A-Star is just gonna wait it out. The smoke is gonna go fade away, and the nade is going to go out as well. So this is gonna be interesting. While Kazi gets taken down, Juventus is going to go down as well by Oops. The revenge track coming in, and A-Star, the anticipation. He's just gonna wait it out. And the Cherry side, 2-man, I mean, not really 2-man deficit, but they have Oops on 22 points of health, which is not the best thing that can happen to them. So might as well just switch out the op, or probably use him as a bait, but he is the one who's carrying the C4 right now. So A-Star with that amazing anticipation will still get taken down though by Saz. A good shot by him. And Rix waiting on top of the ladder. Is if I'm going to find the frag, the finally does. He's going to fall back, surviving on 62 points of health, making it a 3v3. Now Venom has to make sure that he gets at least 1 frag if they try and push into the CD base, but they're not going to go in for the map control. They have the bomber on the site, and Fox is going to be coming in as well. The nade is going to go out. Oops, might just as well get taken down, or maybe not. The nade is not going to do a lot of damage. It is going to be finished though coming up, and while Foxy throws in the flashbang, finish, will avoid it, will try and find the first frag, or maybe not. He's going to get taken down while Foxy gets traded out really quickly, and Oops going down. Saz in a 1v1 will not be able to survive. Rix is going to get him down, and that is going to be the 4th round coming up for Brutality.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Finish who was sitting on the truck there. He should have got that kill. That was almost a free frag for him. But coming down to the final man, they get the bomb down, almost get close to winning, closing out the round. They have some money that in an ideal world, they should be just going for pistols and armor here. Not really, shouldn't be going for the full buy because they won't have enough utility to work with. For Brutality though, because they kept so many players alive on their anti-eco runs, they have a lot of cash to work with. They lost 4 players, but big deal. Rix has picked up the op, and now he will be wielding his signature weapon, so to speak. And for War, pistols and armor on almost every one of these players. Rix is going to be flashed in by his teammate. Unfortunately, he's going to get blinded as well, and he's stuck in a corner, but he gets taken up by Kazi. That has got to suck, and Juventus left to hold down the fort, but he is getting hunted here.
Oh, that was quite ballsy from Juventus to try and spray. Oh, Kazi's gonna get taken on Juventus. Getting the frag with the last bullet in his weapon. He's gonna fall back in 2 frags in Saz as well. It is gonna be finished in Oops in a 2v4 with 2 Deagles to work with. And I think, but the op is gonna get picked up. Finish will try and find a few more frags, but he's just gonna wait it out. Oh, he's gonna get spot almost being taken up by A-Star. Finding the frag onto him and playing into perfection. He's still gonna go around peak, but well, he's gonna get taken down by Venom while Juventus gets 4 kills in this round. The amount of frags that Juventus has in 5 rounds is pretty impressive. 14 frags, and most of them coming in the eco rounds, but again, 14 frags is a little too much in 5 rounds. So pretty impressive coming in from the CT side, but the Terry side, they've just looked below average.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of his teammates combined have 11 frags, and he's got 14. So, eco frags or not, that is a pretty solid start coming out from Juventus, who, for a moment, I think for quite a while, I thought he had retired. Right, so it's pretty cool to see that he's still got things working for him. Rix is not having much luck with the op. Saz has picked him off again. Actually, no, I think Saz won the first duel against A-Star, but Saz showing that he can win some of these duels with an AWP of his. He gets the first kill, 4v5. And Brutality, they are playing double towards long, towards bathrooms, 2 guys towards B, so pretty default setup. They're not really going for any aggression, considering they've lost 1 player. However, A-Star, he's yet to wake up in this match, and we all know how he can be temperamental, but he is extremely, extremely dangerous, no matter what the situation. As there is a fight going on towards long, Juventa and Finish. Finish just clearing out a couple of angles. He's going to fall back, not really looking to take the fight, as War are funneling their way back by the looks of it. Nope, they're going to be making their way towards short. They have a player towards B, that's Baba, trying to fake something out. Kazi's going to get a kill. In the meantime, on the A-Star, Juventa, he's got to go big. He's going to find one. He knows where Saz is as well. Saz is going to creep around the corner, crouches down, and gets the kill. This is a round that War should have in the bag here.
And the first pick by Rix was quite ballsy though, because in most of the cases, the terrace is actually going to reach there first towards connector, so the timing being a little off. But talking about the CTs going in for the retake, I'm not quite sure. Well, they're not going to go in for the retake. They're going to try fall back and save it up, because they do realize they don't have a lot of cash to work with. They'll still be able to buy up, and with Venom and Fox saving their weapons up, they'll be able to donate 2 weapons, at least 1 weapon to Ace if Juventa wants to buy one of his own, and Rex will be able to go in for the op. So very good decision coming in from Brutality. Not worth the risk. You know, there's a point of diminishing returns, and this is it. So Brutality, just trying to get their bank rolling on Overpass, and Fox is actually going to pick that up as well. So that is just going to be a little too beneficial for the CTs, and I think the economy on the CT side is going to be pretty decent. But yeah, the first pick coming in from Rix was pretty ballsy, but not this one. He's going to find the flag onto Baba while Baba was on the hunt, but that is going to be the first round coming up for War. Finally, and yeah, the CTs and Venom is, well, no, man, I'm pretty sure he's going to pass it up. Rex is going to be the one with the op to work with, and Saz doing pretty decently with the op. No, is going those crucial frags, is getting those refrags as well, and the trades. So I think it's working out for them.
Yeah, it is indeed. Bear in mind it's Overpass, right? It's a pretty highly decided map. If can string like 4 or 5 rounds together, they do definitely stand a chance. Rix will be taking the fight again towards mid. The op passed on by his teammate. He goes with a flick shot, not quite able to land it, but this time he won't get blinded. He will make his escape, where he will reposition himself, looking for anyone to come charging out from the fountain area. He's got 2. It's always tricky holding his position, because you got 2 angles to spot, right? You got a spot towards fountain, the fountain entrance. You got a spot towards the playground, party rather. And Rix's escape route has been cut off by that incendiary. So he's got to be a little wary. Lots of angles to check, but A-Star is going to open things up. He gets the first kill. Rix not spotting out a player who has pushed up towards party. That is Oops, staring down towards connector. No one there though for Brutality. They are playing pretty passively. However, A-Star's positioning, this is massive. Now, if he gets his kill onto Kazi, it is gonna be a headache indeed, and Kazi doesn't seem to have any idea. A-Star knows this. He heard the sound cues. Slowly gonna creep around the corner. He hears another player coming out, and A-Star, if he plays this right, he can easily get 2 free kills. There's another player coming up as well at A-Star. How patient will he be? Spots on the first play. Kazi's going to fall, and he spotted him out. Good angle there, headshot angle, but it runs out of bullets. So he's got to take out a USB. Saz in the meantime gets a kill. Oops, will mow him down, and now it's a 3v3 again. However, time is not their friend, and Venom is waiting in the side.
Well, a little too impatient, but nonetheless, he's going to find the first one. Freaking out for the second one, because he's in a really tough position. But Venom is just going to hold that little cheeky angle, hoping to find the flag, but the nade is going to do a lot of damage onto short, and is going to take him down to 41 points of health. And Venom still surviving somehow. You entertain the boost. He's going to find the flag onto Oops, but he's still going to try and find the flag, and Sass is going to go down, missing the op shot, and Venom with the amazing 2K. And saving up at the right time, but A-Star with the brilliant push, and getting a lot of information for his teammates as well. Quite surprised, so even though he heard the footstep, right, and when he heard the second guy, quite surprised that he actually went in for that wide peak. I would have rather just stayed there, because I'm fairly certain that the Terry side would not have expected that play.
Yeah, that was very well played from Brutality there, and even A-Star, right? I mean, this is a guy who likes aggressing a lot, and if you're not ready for him, if he catches you off guard like what happened there, he got the first kill, he got the information, it was just 30 seconds remaining, and War had to come into the B-bomb site. So a little unfortunate for War, but also they needed to keep a lurk, and now it's a Hail Mary play towards B-bomb site where there are 3 players ready and waiting. A-Star's going to make first contact. Saz going to get the first kill. A-Star's going to find 1. Finds 2 before he gets taken down, but Venom's still in the side doing great work, picking up a double. Kazi is on the hunt. He's picked up 1. So actually, no, he's not got a single kill yet. It's actually Saz who got the frag, and he's been spotted out as Venom funnels him to the waiting arms of Rix. 7-1 for Brutality. They lose a couple of players. War are keeping Brutality's economy a little humble, right? Like, even though they're 7-1 up, you'd expect some of these players to be at 10k or something. So apart from Rix, who's on $5,000, the rest of them, if you look at the cash, it's not that great. So for War, if they can just win this round, for example, and string another round together, they can break the economy, and from there it's anyone's game. So I still won't count them out, but they need to break this defense.
They surely have to, and the way it's going for them right now, I think it's going to be a little too hard because they don't have any Molotovs to work with. Only smokes is not going to cut it off on Overpass. You have to push the CDs out of their caves when they are holding those angles off. And look at A-Star being so ballsy. I think he's going to just creep out, or is he going to get flashed in? Not quite sure, but he's just holding that smoke off. And Foxy hiding towards A-Long, and A-Star being ever so ballsy. He's going to spot the first guy. Will get taken down, and a little too ballsy right there. A little too ambitious. Is going to get taken down, and that is going to be the first pick coming in for the Terry set. While Uinta throws in that smoke, does not allow the Terry set cut in towards A-Long and get that map control, while Rex is going to get taken down to 9 points of health as well, and Foxy is going to go down, finish! Somehow expecting that, but Uinta's nade is going to take him down as well, and the flashbang coming towards A-Long. Uinta almost spotting the Terry, so maybe he might have as well, but he just falls back and decides to wait it out towards the bomb side. It is a 3-3 situation. Rex will have to be a little too careful, does not want to get taken down by a stray bullet left or right. So yeah, he's going to be playing a pretty passive angle with the op to work with towards the A-bomb side. And talking about the terrace side, they have to make this work, but Rex getting the first frag. Saz is going to get taken out while Oops creeps up towards toilets, and Uinta is holding off a beautiful angle towards A-long. So the terrace side is not really going to expect this, while Uinta falls back towards the B-bomb side. And now this is a lot of pressure for Oops and Kazi to handle, because they have to check. Oh, look at that battle being spotted right there. Kazi is going to find the frag onto Uinta, and that suppressor just being spotted right there. A little too unfortunate for Uinta. Not quite expected that. But yeah, Venom is going to be on the retake along with Rex while the bomb gets planted. It's going to be 2v2. Venom's going to find the first flag on Oops, going to find the second one as well. Kazi is going to hold that smoke off. And Rex, I think, is aware. Oh, he's going what was that shot? Rex getting the shot onto Kazi. And that is going to be the 8th round coming up for Team Brutality.
Gotta say something about Juventus there. I mean, considering you've played this game for so very long, you have to know that when you have an M4A1 and you're holding that angle, like if you had an M4A1, you want to be staring into the wall and having a little bit of a gap on your screen on your left hand side to just spot someone crossing over. But when you're like staring out like that with a barrel poking out, you have to know that it can easily be seen. Like, that's a very basic thing. Luckily for Brutality, Venom and Rix doing great work there to just get that retake going, but that was a little shaky from Juventus. 17 kills, 4 deaths, great performance so far, but you can't afford to, have those tiny little mistakes, because if you're going to be facing up against a team of, let's say, a higher caliber, you're going to get really punished for that, right? So War taking their first tactical timeout. Not sure about this buy from Saz. Not sure if he went for the auto buy, because he's got an MP7 and armor. He's gone for the full purchase. He got a P250 as well. So, okay. Alright. It seems to be some discord in the War camp right now.
I don't know. Do players even use auto buy at this day and time? Because you can have custom buy-ins for everything. Why do you want to even use auto buy? But talking about the battle, right? Nonetheless, it looks like it's going to be a B-long rush coming in, so we'll just get back to the game. They're going to go towards short, and Oops is just going to be waiting, going through the Molotov. Alright, just walking through the fire, quite literally. And Foxy is going to be waiting out towards short, and Asa watching the cross. Oops is going to go down. Foxy is going to get spotted, almost being taken out, but his teammate is going to be backing him up. Venom is going to get traded after getting 2 frags, and the Molotov being thrown and not allowing the terrorist side to come up. It is going to be finished, though, watching the backstab towards connectors and A-Star being again a little too aggressive. Wants those frags, really wants those frags. Oh, look at that! Baba is gonna get taken down, and that is just something that comes with experience. And what a 1D onto A-Star by finish. He's gonna pick up that M4. We'll go across the corner. We'll be able to find the frag on Uinta though, and we have Rix on the backstab, and he's playing it to perfection. He's being very patient. He's gonna get spotted though, and the flashbang is going to go out as well. So Rix, alright, I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do, but he's gonna get taken down while trying to throw the second flash, and Uinta now is in a 1v1. Has to make this work, has to get that frag. And is he going to hold off the B-bomb side, or will he rotate, expecting him to go in towards the A-bomb side? Because there are still 40 seconds on the clock to work with, so he could go in for any sort of rotation he wants. So he could literally backstab Uinta if he wants to. But, well, Uinta is not going to fall for it. It's just going to wait it out while Finish walks up towards B-bomb side. And this is going to be interesting if Finish expects him over there, but Uinta, not quite sure. He's going to spot him and look at the headshot onto Finish, and that is going to be the 9th round coming up for the CT side. But alright, in the meantime, I want to talk about the battle, right? It's, in the older days when you used to play 1.6, when you, especially on a map like Nuke, if you're holding cabin or something, you had to be away from the wall because your silencer would just pop out through the wall, through the cabin, through the doors as well. So it's been around for a very long time. Kind of surprised that Uinta didn't figure that out, or could have literally just removed the suppressor.
Or just a brain fart moment. It happens. That round though was extremely expensive. Brutality. Once again, a couple of players on the side going for a little bit, getting a little bit overzealous, a little bit of aggressive plays, which is unnecessary to be honest. And if you look at the money, it's not that great. We have a UMP coming out from Foxy. Despite being 9-1 up, the money's not that great in Foxy. Unfortunately, gets shot in the kneecaps. He will survive, but he's on 18 HP with that UMP, so frag will be hard to come by. A-Star, in the meantime, is going on an excursion, and he will be found out by Finish, who was ready and waiting for him. So, man advantage for War early on, 1 minute and 10 seconds. But Rix will negate the man advantage. However, he's got to fall back real quickly. Instead, he's gonna still poke around here. This is what I've never been a big fan of this iteration of Brutality, right? This hyper aggression. I get it, like, sometimes you want to play with a little bit of a no respect, especially against a team like War, which on paper you should be winning very convincingly, but I see them going for these plays even against teams, better teams, in the scene, which will always come and bite you in the back. So I'm not a big fan of this. However, 4v4, Foxy internally hemorrhaging, and War are making a play for this B bomb site where they have a retake setup ready and waiting. Venom boosting up Uinta right above. He's got Incendiary. 27 seconds, perfectly timed Incendiary. However, they're going to be coming in true monster, and Uinta is going to be making contact.
And well, in the meantime, he's going to throw in a nade as well. Okay, the first frag. So the first wave going down it is going to be Kazi getting the headshot onto Uinta while he tries to clear the bomb side, but Baba is going to go down to Venom, getting the revenge frag, and Foxy just waiting it out on 18 points of health. They're having a UMP 45 to work on the flashbang at the most perfect time, coming in, and the Saz with that flick. Gonna get the second frag as well. He's going to find the frag on Rix as well, and this is all going to come down to Venom, who has to bring back the fight, but well, the time is going to run out, and both the tiers not getting any sort of losing bonus, while Kazi gets taken down after the time is going to be a little too unfortunate. Only has $300 to work with. Now, this is something that just, frustrates you because you had a weapon, the clock ran out, and you just died out after the clock ran out, so you don't have any cash to work with. What do you do in a situation like this?
I don't know. Like, okay, they could go for the pistol armor, and Saz has an op, so Saz has got to go and get these opening picks. He has been getting a few opening picks, by the way. He is top ranking for his team as well. He has made that op sing, but not enough. Like, the previous round, for example, he managed to make it almost possible. Unfortunately, time running out, and now Rix Uinta is an aggressive hole coming out towards the bathrooms. 3 people ready and waiting. However, Uinta is very low, but Rix, in the meantime, he is just picking off people at will as they will be funneled towards long. And A-Star is ready and waiting, goes for the Hail Mary spray, just finds one, and that's the op picked up by Finish, and times it to perfection. Uinta will get wrecked completely. And that was a 3v2. This is when Brutality needs to just, hold the angles, set up a crossfire, and no need to over-aggress, and that's what I got to do here. Venom is trying to go for the flank. The Finish is ready and waiting. Venom's just going to be happy just holding this angle, ensuring that their exit is cut off. So all the 3 angles are being watched. So we have Foxy towards the A-bomb side, we have Rix waiting towards bathrooms, and Venom mocking the back. So they're kind of trapped here. They have to go for a play. They have the weapons, they have the op in the hands of Finish. Oops with an M4, however, he doesn't have any armor. What are they going to do here?
Just wait it out and wait for the clock to run out again, I guess, because the way they're taking things right now, it's going to be extremely difficult to break into the bomb site. They don't have any resources to work with. 30 seconds on the clock, and clearing out the entire bomb site is a tough task, which they are taking at hand right now. But Oops is just going to be walking and expecting someone to the left side, but he is just going to peek out, shoulder peeking for the op to work with, but Foxy is going to find the headshot onto him, while Finish gets taken down by Venom. So that is going to be the 11th round coming up for Brutality, and completely and utterly dominating War right now, because they have just not been able to play the correct counter-strike, so to speak. They have been making a lot of mistakes, especially in the eco rounds. Being spread out so much is not something that is going to work out for you.
And what's going to be even more gutting for War is the fact, if you look at the way the rounds have been won, like the previous round, 2 players survived. The round before that was a 1v1, they ran at the time. There's another round which came down to a 1v1. So They did come very, very close to winning a couple of these, at least a few of these rounds. So it could have easily been like a 9-4 or even an 8-5 scoreline. And look at Venom, he's feeling adventurous and he's gonna walk straight into Finish, who will finish him off. And bear in mind, this is a very strange buy. 2 Mac-10s have just invested whatever they can into this round, but at least you get the opening pick. The question is, even though they keep getting the opening picks time and time again, they don't seem to be able to capitalize on it.
And this isn't even War getting those opening picks, it's just Brutality gifting it to them. You know, we've seen A-Star, Foxy, a lot of people and Venom as well rushing out, but in the meantime, it looks like it's in the BT coming in. Foxy again, they're taking frag onto Kazi, and well, oops, he's gonna get refragged by A-Star. Again, gonna find the frag onto Rex, but Saz is gonna find the frag onto Foxy. He's just spraying down with the spray transfer, but not being able to get the second guy. Now it's gonna be Baba all alone in a 1v1, and Uenta has to save the day. He's gonna spot the chairs, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Gifting those opening frags and still not being able to close those rounds down for the Terry side is going to be a little too upsetting.
Yeah, and again, coming down to 1v1, right? Nice ult coming from Brutality, but I'm not sure what a C4 was doing, just jumping down. Because the second the bomb got dropped there, the round was looking extremely good for War. It was a strange buy. They had 2 AKs, I think 3 AKs, and 2 Mac-10s. So, looks like, yeah, it seems to be affecting them right now, the pressure and the fact that it's 12-1. I'm not too sure what they're going to do here. A-Star, again, the guy does not know the meaning of taking things slow. He's holding W, he's already in playground, is gathering so much of information. He can just get the flank in, and now they have 2 players waiting towards short as well, Venom and Foxy, and the hunt is on, and they're going to be funneled in here. Venom's holding, waiting in line. Smoke's going to come in, and he sees a foot. Finish. That is just so unfortunate. And now he's got so much information. Foxy finds Kazi through the smoke. One guy's so very low, and look at where A-Star is. He's got to just take them from behind with no loop.
I think for a moment, War has to forget that they're playing against a team like Brutality and just play their natural game while making sure that they do not make those silly mistakes that they've been making. Because if you go against a team like Brutality, against a mindset that, you know, it's a very good team, and you know, giving respect is one thing, but just being intimidated by them and being blinded by the light is a different thing. And this is what is happening to War right now. They're just giving away that, you know, early aggression coming from the CD side is okay, but the way they have been approaching those fights early on in the game isn't something that is working out for them either. But Rex is still nonetheless going to go around the corner trying to find the frag, but the flashbang is going to blind him. He'll have to wait it out, and A-Star is going to be boosted up top towards connector, but going to find the frag, and Foxy is going to go down, but A-Star again getting the revenge frag on the other side of the map. And the nade is going to do some damage. Oops, it's going to get taken down on 31 points of health. And you went knock. Oh! Well, I'm presuming, had you not fallen down right there, had you not fell down right there, you would have probably gone the frag. But, well, the flashbang is going to prime the while Rex gets a headshot onto Kazi. Not quite sure these guys are trying to do, because, you know, they are going for those individual plays. And this is what has been happening. You know, Brutality gifts those early openings, and then they try and make those individual plays and get taken down one by one, and this is exactly what is happening. Oops is going to go down, no one to trade him out, and they're just going to lose one more round. And Oops actually going to be Baba in a 3v1, but this is going to be a little too much, because the way they have been playing, this doesn't look like they'll be able to pull this round off.
Yeah, not happening. Baba the Beast, 1v3, bomb down, bomb dropped in a very far away position from where he is as well. Juventus going to take the fight, and he's not going to lose any deal. This guy's just been beasting it throughout. 23 kills and 6 deaths in one half, and Brutality have just brutalized their way through the first half. Here's the thing with War, right? They don't seem to have any particular defaults on the T side. I'm surprised they allowed this map through if they don't have any defaults. A-Star just pushing and peeking and prodding, just, you know, all over the map. They're not waiting for it. They're giving way too much respect to Brutality, and a couple of times they just waltzed in towards the B bombs to try to go for a fast play. They look very discombobulated. They looked like all over the place. It was like the C4 twice, I think, in the previous half, falling inside of water. So overall, I mean, I don't want to judge them too much from just based off one map, but this was not their map at all. They're just getting completely manhandled at the moment. Aggression from Oops in the meantime. And he will get pressurized by Juventa, but Oops will not miss his shots. He finds 3 quick kills. The bomb is dropped as well. That's pretty nifty coming out from him. So a nice start to the second half for War. They still have to find 2 more kills though, and this is the thing. Don't throw away the man advantage you have, because they have a 2v5 advantage at the moment. The bomb is dropped as well. However, A-Star is still alive.
We'll talk about throwing away the mad advantage, and Kazi, I'm not quite sure why he had to go in for that shot or the peak, but Asa is going to get spotted again. The information is going to pass, finish, being spotted, taking 2 shots to his body. Is not going to lose a lot of health points, but Rex is just going to wait it out the P250. And Kevlar as well, but he's going to get destroyed by Oops, getting a quad kill. Can he find the ace though? That is what he's trying to do right now. You know, he's going to be pushing up and will try and find the ace, but it's going to be ace in a 1v4. And this guy is more than capable of pulling a round off like this. And oops, he's going to get spotted while Sas gets boosted up top. Is going to find the headshot onto him. And ace will just get backstabbed by finish. But a very good round, a really, really amazing round coming from oops. Getting a quad kill towards mid. And it was a 2-man A play coming in. Usually you see, you know, teams playing 4 guys towards B bomb side, and only 1 guy making the information play towards the A bomb side early on in the round to try and get that information. But well, that 2-man setup working out perfectly fine, and oops, getting a quad kill and getting the round for the CT side.
Well, at least 1 round, so 14-2. It's a pretty hard ask for them to make it back. A-Star, Deagle in hand. Spots out Oops, who will be feeling a little confident, right? And you sometimes need that little bit of a confidence boost as finish. Meantime, trying to be cheeky with the boost. Instead, he gets taken down to 11 HP. Immediate weapon swap coming out. He will be wielding the MP9 as the players in Brutality are swarming around his B bomb side. Molotov flashbang's gonna pop as well, and here comes the execute. There are 3 players waiting though, and Finish has got a bait out for Baba. Baba is in a great spot. Venom's gonna get a kill. Finish is so very low. Baba getting find more than 1. He just finds 1 kill. Venom's gonna take him down. And that's Oop and Saz around. They really shouldn't have come down to this 4v2, and they should be falling back and holding on to the rifles here. They have no money to work with, and for Brutality it is going to be map and match point. Or is Oops, are they feeling it? They look like they're going to go for this.
They're going to put everything they have in this round and try and go in for the retake. Unless they find a frag, I think this is going to be pretty pointless. But well, this is something that's going to happen. Venom is going to go find the headshot onto Oops, and Saz will just fall down to Foxy. So there is going to be the map and the match point coming from Brutality and anti-ecos. We've been talking about this, but you know, there wasn't a lot Baba could have done because Brutality played it really well. There was a guy towards B long, towards the first tunnels, right? And that is the guy that distracted Baba a bit, and Baba had to fall back in. Could not get the second frag, and while he got flanked from the right side below the window. So Brutality playing it to perfection and doing a lot of damage, and just playing good Counter-Strike right there. But in the meantime, the CTs are going to force it out because this is a do-or-die situation. And well, I didn't really expect the game to end within 19 or 20 rounds, but yeah, 3 AK-47s from us and a UMP-45 to work with. Rex gets a headshot onto Saz, getting the first opening frag. And is going to be throwing in that smoke, which is still going to leave a gap because it just went off on the Molotov. But Oops is going to be pushing in. Alright. Rex is waiting out when I'm watching the push and waiting for the CTs to make a mistake. And this is good Counter-Strike being played out by Brutality.
Yeah, I just want to close this out. Don't want to give any more rounds to war. 15-2 at the opening pick. Rex, unfortunate there for Oops, not quite able to align the crosshair with the head. 3v5. This looks like pretty much the beginning of the end here. I don't see them pulling off anything crazy. They have the 1 player towards B. The bomb is still floating around towards connector. So depending on whether Venom or A-Star plays out of sight, they're just going to be swinging there, right? So the 3 players waiting towards connector. Venom's going to be taking point towards B. If he gets his kill on the Kazi, the round is done and does it. He's going to get the frag, and he knows the site's empty. A-Star finds finish as well. He's Bob the Beast, and there's not much he can do. Foxy put a bullet between his eyes. 16-2 for Brutality. That was as savage, as brutal, as dominating as can get. And for War, their tale of woe continues.
Well, yeah, it is going to be 16-2, and it was quite a pleasure for casting for you guys. And well, until the next time, it's going to be Blair and Mamba signing off.
Adios.
Well, what a game this has been between Brutality and War Gaming. They're pretty one-sided till the end. Absolutely no chance whatsoever I saw in this entire game being given to the opposition.
Well, actually, no, that's not the case. There was so many chances given. That was the best part, right? And this wasn't one of Brutality's best games, by the way. By far, it was just War's worst game ever. And secondly, it was just Juventa right in the start of the game, right? Just going absolutely nuts. This was like the Juventa of old, like Juventa back from this 1.6 days. Anyone walked into his crosshair, it was like, boom, headshot, you dead. Like, you're off the server, get the hell out, Overpass is our map. And like I said earlier, right, like, Overpass, War, letting it, just the veto basically was by Brutality was absolutely brilliant. It was completely on point. They removed the maps that could have been War's strong suit, right? Like the random puggy maps, right? Because War isn't really they're not a strat heavy team. They're an aim heavy team.
I get it.
And it was exactly that. No cash, no Mirage, no Cobble. What are you going to do? You've been forced to pick between Nuke and Overpass. And like I said, what we should have
played out there itself.
I told you had to expect a spanking in this game. And it was basically that. It was #spanked. And
I hope they don't start posting stuff against you on social media.
The thing is, I'm respected. You're not.
Well, not essentially.
I'm just kidding, by the way. We all respect and love Vagish. But yeah, like, I mean, exactly what I said happened, right? Like, it was CT side, right? They got CT. First of all, Brutal started with very strong 5-0 lead. After that, Rick's, it was like, again, a mistake by Brutality in the 6th round, which gifted War a round as well. Like, it was Rick's dying early. And after that, the mistake Brutality made was playing absolutely defensive. They're not trying to get a revenge frag. They're not trying to get map information, nothing, and they lost that round. And they didn't really play the CT side how I would have liked them to play. Like, their B-shot control was terrible. They gave Brutality, like, there's a lot to talk about, by the way. I'm not going to talk about War that much because they showed us absolutely nothing. Blair said this during the game as well. Like, they didn't even have a T-side default. All they tried to do was brute force their way into B or then slow take A. And 1 or 2 rounds, they had a pick at connector. Sal's tried his best, by the way, and that's all I could say about War. And even in the pistol round, Oops tried his best. And the only reason War even got 3 on the board, right, was because, was it 2 on the board? 2 on the board was one, it was just like that, the one mistake by Brutality and then one hero play by Oops, like where he got the 4K in the pistol round. That's it. They didn't show us anything else. That's it. It was just Oops, actually, because the other thing was a Brutality mistake.
So who do you think is going to be the MVP for you?
I think we'll get to that eventually, but I do want to talk a little bit more about Brutality, right? Because War was so bad in this game, so bad, that Brutality's negatives have to be highlighted as well. Because Brutality did not play this to perfection. They did not play this how they should have. A-Star, yes, he had, like I said, right, he had a B push in the 7th round where he caught 2 players off guard. But even that round, when it started as a 4v3 after A-Star's 2 picks, right, that went down to a 1v1. Then again, like, Brutals had quite a few rounds, and especially I think there was 3 full eco rounds or maybe semi-force buy rounds by War, and they took this down to a 1v1, 2v1, whatever, things like that. They had no money the entire game, by the way. Brutality was always on the brink of being reset. If they lost one more round after, maybe during the 8th or 9th or 10th or even 11th round, they would have been economically reset, like immediately. They would have been money screwed. And it just never happened because, it was just that 1-by-1. Foxy, after Brutality winning 9 rounds in a row, had a UMP. Like, had a UMP in one of those rounds. Rix couldn't pick up the op, and there was just
so many
fundamental errors. Yeah, fundamental errors coming in by Brutality. Giving away the first pick is every time, like, it happens once or twice, right? But every time, and then having to come back from that, it doesn't show, like, okay, fine, it shows mental fortitude on Brutality's part, right? But the fact that you're giving away the first pick so many times is absolutely terrible. And I'm actually scared about the thing I said about Brutality and Entity in the start, right? Like, it's gonna be like Brutality winning, because if they play like this, a better team like Entity can definitely exploit it. And they really need to fix these quirks. And I hope Venom and A-Star watch this later, right? And they fix this, and they fix this definitely. I'll tell you what, like, the amount of rounds, like, I just made a note, right? Only round number 1 and 14 were flawless rounds by Brutality. Only 2 rounds out of 15. And they won 14 of those rounds, by the way. And only 2 of them were flawless victories. And the rest of them were all 3 members or lesser surviving. And yeah, that's about it. And also towards the end, on the 18th round, we saw the Brutality have this T default that War lacked, that Blay said that War lacked. And, that was how the T side should have been played. They did not.
Lot to learn for both the teams here in question. In fact, your MVP, are they still waiting on that?
So, I mean, I just got told in production, we don't have the graphic ready, but it has to be Juventa right from the start, right? I'm looking at the stats as well. 23 frags, a KDR of 3.3, by the way. ADR is just shy of A-Star's ADR at 114, but 2 4Ks, 2 3Ks, 1 double kill as well. And his impact rounds, right? He had 5 opening frags and 3 revenge frags. Even though A-Star had a great game as well, I think Juventa just played his skin out today, and that impact rating of 1.86 just shows that, man. I think he had a monster game. And also, Juventa also stood out in the first game we saw of Brutality as well.
Yeah.
So I really think he has been putting in the hours, and even though he doesn't have so many hours to put in, right? He's married, he has a business running, and he travels to Pune and Lonavala and things on business more than when I was more than you commute to work.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Like, you know. And it's commendable seeing Brutality and especially Juventa putting out this sort of performance.
Alrighty then, well that sums up today's CSGO game. We have a DOTA 2 match going to happen in a short bit, but right now a small break. Let me remind you, this is the ESL India Premiership 2018, brought to you by Omen, by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by Norton Gaming and ESL.
was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League, the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series, the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2 and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total dominance.
Welcome back, everybody, to the DOTA 2 match happening here, the final game in today's edition of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by
Northern Gaming
and
ESL.
Good girl, Angela. Good girl, unlike some people who aren't good in life. Unlike some people who aren't good in life. Angela is a good person. Now moving on, today is a very special day because, again, of the simple fact that today we get to see two very interesting teams having a showdown in Dota 2. So I'm very thrilled and excited about it, Angela.
Yeah.
What do you have to add about it?
Do you want to introduce the teams first?
Oh, sure. Let's introduce the team. Today's Dota 2 match is going to be between two very interesting teams, like I said. It's going to be Reckoning Esports versus Reckoning Infinity. So let's quickly take a look at the Esports bit first, the Reckoning Esports team. Pretty interesting lineup. In fact, I know one of the players, DOTA.
Yeah.
I've happened to meet him quite often in a lot of LAN events. Pretty interesting chap. Yeah, well, that's team Reckoning
Good team
Esports.
over there. I mean, they're based out of Pune, and as of now, they sit on 6th on the leaderboard. Interesting team over there. They've taken a win against Buriza, but they've taken their loss against Signify.
Yep. Quite a tough loss that one was. I mean, considering Buriza is still pretty much admissible as a competition. Remember, guys, like, this is the Masters League. Any shit can go down here. And when I use the word shit, I mean, I intend it in the wellest and goodest possible ways. Like, some of the best teams can topple down. You never know. Like I said,
definitely.
Signify can lose. I mean to say, we have come from a year when we had a showdown between A5 and Signify, and people were like biting their nails. They bit their fingers off saying, "Acha, kaun jeetne wala hai?" So if you can bring yourself up to that level and defeat Signify,
games
definitely.
Just have to get more and more interesting. Otherwise, I mean, esports will get a little boring if the game.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, it's a game. It's a sport, right?
Yes.
Somebody has to lose. I mean,
true.
If you see India-Australia cricket match, it's not as like both are coming for a barat and like, yeah, we'll both be happy and like we're going to be like, it's a win-win situation. Somebody's got to lose. Somebody's got to be the better team here. So, well, in this instance, it just so happens that the opposition also is a Reckoning team. It's Reckoning Infinity. I have zilch idea why. Is that the IGL in the center, that Param guy?
Yes.
For Infinity?
Always.
I don't know, but I like his expression. He's got that. I kind of know, but I don't know. What's the name? ASD. Yes. No, not ASD. Who was the guy?
ASD.
No, I'm talking about Avada. I'm talking about Avada. Yes, okay. Avada is the guy from Infinity. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at his expression. Such a. I don't know. What's happening here?
I think our photographer took the picture too quickly.
Yeah, Saik Jari Ahmed, please learn better photographic skills. But moving on, well, that's Team Reckoning Infinity.
So this team is as of now right below their sister team, Reckoning Esports. They sit 7th on the board as of now. They won a game though against the Akatsuki, which is one of the top contenders in this tournament. But they've taken losses against Signify and Buriza.
And the good thing is Infinity rages less than Esports.
Well, they are a new team by the same company. So Reckoning Esports is their complete professional squad, and Reckoning Infinity is the squad that is still learning. It's like Buriza and Buriza Youth.
Yeah,
a similar concept coming in there. Yeah,
it's like that. So let's quickly take a look at the map. Why am I saying map draft? Wow, I'm still not out of the Counter-Strike zone.
We can check out the
hero draft. I think the draft should be ready.
Anytime now.
Oh, the draft is not yet ready. So, Angie, a little bit more about the teams then.
All right. So, these both teams are based out of Pune, like we've already spoken about this before. They both had even taken part in the ESL India 2017 Premiership. Of course, Reckoning Esports made it all their way to the LAN finale, but Reckoning Infinity couldn't. But they're coming in strong in this year because last year they had just started playing as a team.
They were in the challenges.
They were in the challenges. And yes, now they have made the Masters. So, I'm expecting them to perform much better this year in the Masters.
I mean, it's not just them. It's expected out of every single Masters team.
True.
The name Masters means a lot. There's a lot of weight behind the title Masters. I mean, sure, I could play in starter. You could play in starter. But again, playing in the Masters League is not just any achievement. It's a lot of responsibility on your own end to do so much better with your team if you are able to do that. And now we see a ban coming in from Reckoning Infinity, which is going to be Omni Night. This is predominantly a Reckoning Derby game happening today. We are waiting a ban coming from Reckoning Esports, which could be coming in any moment, and it's Tusk. It's Tuskar.
Everybody doesn't like the Tusk because Tusk in the 4th role, he is just devastating, and having him banned out is better than playing against him. So that's a good ban coming in there from Reckoning Esports. Reckoning Infinity, on the other hand, they love to play a lot of Bane, a lot of MK. They like to, walk around the map a lot, get those kills needed. So I'm hoping to see whether they opt to go for an OD. Though I have heard that Reckoning Infinity plays an amazing Tusk. So maybe that's another reason why this ban is there on the board. For now, they're going to take some time with that second ban, a lot of time on the clock. They could opt to go and ban out the Razor. It's much needed because we have Reckoning Esports who plays
but they've gone ahead and banned out Tiny there.
Tiny, much needed ban. He's been creating havoc in the ESL India Premiership and even in international tournaments.
That means a lot of heroes are creating havoc. I mean, if that is appropriately, if they're used appropriately, it all boils down to that.
True. I would also want to see maybe a Naga getting banned, but for now they're going to go ahead and ban out the Night Stalkers.
Like I said, Night Stalker has been banned. Lifestealer is already there. I mean, these are set heroes in the current meta, which are like I said, like we were discussing this yesterday, Angie.
Yeah.
Like somebody's making the meta, right? Somebody's crunching the numbers.
True.
They just have to devise new and better combos. So I mean, sure, right now these heroes which are getting banned are the ones which are in the irritating pool, like we call it. And there we see a Razor ban coming in from Reckoning Infinity.
Alright, and the last ban for Reckoning Esports towards Reckoning Infinity. I'm hoping that they ban out the Monkey King or the Lycan, because Reckoning Infinity are pretty good on those two heroes. And I'm hoping to see whether that happens. But they're going to ban out the Bane. They are very, very scared about the position 4 of Reckoning Infinity. All their 3 bans have been against that particular player, I would say, because I really have to go back and check who is this 4th role player that Reckoning Esports is very concerned about. But as of now, the first pick is ready for Reckoning Infinity. They could opt to pick up their supports for Sand King, Witch Doctor, Disruptor still in the pool. That could maybe just start off with their draft and maybe head into the bigger chips, and it's going to be the Sand King getting picked off very fast by Reckoning Infinity. Now Reckoning Esports, on the other hand, they like to play a little bit more versatile. They like the Keeper of the Light. They like the Pit Lord and the Naga, but for now they're going to opt to go with the Rubik. I'm hoping to see them pick the Jakiro.
No, I said I like this hero.
Rubik. Yes. Everybody likes Rubik.
Yeah. I mean, the spell steal is way too cool, man. I like.
Definitely, and I think he's the only hero in Dota in general who can completely show you something so different that you would never expect from your
opponent. Single game, every single time.
True. There's not one way you can play Rubik. There are like 1,000 ways you can play Rubik. I mean, depending on what skill he steals, depending on his item build and putting all that forward.
Depending on an Aghanims, depending that the person playing the Rubik should definitely go for a Kaya.
True. I don't personally like Rubik. I mean, but that's
Tell me your favorite heroes, Andy. Tell me more.
Mirana. I love Mirana, but because she's a very mobile hero, and
sure,
you
just like leaping tigers.
And on top of it, she can be played in any kind of role. Whether you put her in a 5th role, she can handle herself because she's got the escape. You send her mid, she can also play mid. You send her carry,
and plus you like leaping cats.
Yeah, now she's got 3 leaps, so that's even cooler. Anyway, going ahead, they do pick up the Pit Lord for now. Reckoning Esports, very expected pick coming in over there for them. He's going to be an offlane Pit Lord. I think mostly they may even opt to go for a Void. They like to play the Void a lot. They also like to play the Death Prophet mid. So if they opt to pick up their mid next, it may be a Death Prophet, or maybe I'm very surprised to not see a Storm at all. Like, I think we've not seen a Storm Spirit in any of the games till now in the ESL India Premiership.
Nobody wants to
zap around the map.
Yeah, man. Zap. That's how it goes. Yeah, nobody wants to do that. But a Storm Center would be so much fun.
True.
Like given the current talent tree with Storm, that guy is out for blood. But this is going to be an ancient apparition.
I love that pick. I mean, he's one of my favorite heroes and devastating. I mean, in the early games, his Stilling Touch does a lot of damage. You can actually harass out anybody in the offlane. Also, playing a hero like that, he doesn't really need to be in most of the gangs. He can just sit at base and ulti anywhere on the map. That kind of gives Reckoning Esports lesser heroes to kill. And normally when you have a 5v5 gank happening, you have your carry first kill the supports. But if this Ancient Apparition is how I believe this draft is going to go, he's not really going to be much in the fights, and that means you have Sand King already, who's very mobile. He's just going to use his Sandstorm and either get out of the fight. He has a blink, but what is Reckoning Esports going to catch when there's nobody else they can kind of go around?
True, because Esports are Reckoning Esports has gone ahead and banned Phantom Lancer there. Another cancer hero there.
Oh, I mean, horrible.
The Lathi charge is absolutely non-commendable, man. Like somebody like.
It's got a 3-second cooldown.
What are you talking about? 3-second cooldown before today's edition of the ESL India Premierships like started. I was playing a game, Angie. After a long time, I was like, okay, I'll play DOTA. I picked up Razor. I was very happy. I had a Sanjasha. I had a Nagaz. I had everything sorted for that. Except that I forgot that there is a PL in my opposition. And he's just going for it. That guy has no idea when to stop, how to stop it. Just like close after close. It's like Matrix happening. Like zoop, 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 zoop.
Well, he's a very hard carry to beat. So it's good that they banned him off for now. Reckoning Infinity looking to pick up their 4th hero. But while I see those picks come in, I'm hoping to see Reckoning Esports pick up the Jakiro. They have fared pretty well on that particular hero. So, I mean, it's a good option for them. But they're going against their sister team, so they've really played against this team quite a lot.
So they know exactly what to do and what not to do.
Exactly, where the strengths lie. For now, it's going to be another ban coming in there from Reckoning Esports. They're going to take some time with this one. They could opt to ban out I think the Doom, because Reckoning Infinity like to play the Doom quite a bit in the off lane. I'm also worried about the mid, so like banning out the OD would be a good idea for them.
Would be a great idea.
Yeah, they need to really get rid of that.
And OD late game is a lot of trouble.
Oh, he's massacre. They could also opt to go and ban out the MK, because I mean, Reckoning Infinity like to play the Monkey King in the off lane. But lots of time on the clock here. They're going to opt to ban the Puck. Again, not a hero I've seen much in the ESL India Premiership. The ban coming out for him, okay, they're a little worried about the mid. I would have banned out the OD to be more specific, or even the Viper, because those two heroes are really scary in the mid lane. But now it's time for the final ban before we see the next pick. And Reckoning Infinity gotta be a little careful. They gotta ban out another carry who could be devastating for them. The Gyro needs a ban here, because that could work really well with Reckoning Esports draft. They could also opt to go and ban out the Winter, because the Winter with the Rubik is pretty scary. And if they don't ban the Winter, or maybe the Disruptor, this could be a little chaotic for their supports from Reckoning Infinity. But
indeed,
they ban out the Void.
Ban out Void there. And then OD gets picked up by Reckoning Esports. And now Infinity is going to answer back. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Viper.
Void, last time Reckoning Esports played the Void, they were fantastic on him. So that good ban coming there. Reckoning Infinity done their homework on Reckoning Esports. So it's so confusing saying Reckoning.
Which Reckoning?
Yeah, so I would say Infinity.
Whose Reckoning is this?
Infinity and Esports. How about that? So Esports for now ban out the Void, and Reckoning Esports taking this opportunity, going to pick up that OD real quickly. They still got to see who's going to be their carry. We still have the Luna in the pool. I forgot her the last time, but she is pretty good at breaking down towers. Plus they have the Pitlor and the Rubik to support her.
It'll be fun seeing a Mirana in this game. What do you think?
I would wish that they would pick a Mirana. She doesn't get picked up at all in this meta.
Poor woman's like always like, you know, left aside.
Yeah, I mean there was a point when she was very much in the meta, and I find her really amazing because her ultimate is Moonlight, and
it's very, very, very
you can get any
useful.
gank off with that kind of movement, especially in game like this. But for now, with the Earth Spirit getting picked up, we have to make do with
an Earth Spirit.
I'm hoping to see now the Sand King going in the off lane, the Ancient, and actually not even off lane. It could also be that the Sand King could be roaming with the Earth Spirit and give the Ancient some time in the safe lane with the carry. So he also gets his levels up really quickly. He'll pull stack, get some farm, get to level 6 super quick. For now, but we're going to see Reckoning Esports take some time on their 4th pick. They are going to mostly pick up their 4th role support. Night Stalker being banned out. Rubik, if he's not playing 5th and he's going 4th, then they still got to pick up something as Disruptor, Witch Doctor, still there, but would be a little too squishy in my eyes. Maybe a very versatile pick like a Meepo like we saw yesterday.
Would a VS work here?
Earthshaker?
No, VS.
Vengeful Spirit. Yes, it could work out here.
VS could be a very, very, very good help if you want to play her in the fourth role support, like a second support for your game.
They could also pick up the Shadow Demon. Actually, now that you come to think of it, even the Shadow Demon would do well for them. But my bets are mostly on the Disruptor.
But I'm literally thinking. Think about it this way. How it works so well is Reckoning Esports will have a Pit Lord who has the Atrophy aura. Then you have the Vengeful aura.
Yeah.
You see that like the aura stack is only way too much, and the damage you're accumulating in that with just the presence of a support there, who's like passively aggressively supporting you in the lane. It adds so beautifully.
I mean, I would say that Venji is a very situational pickup, but this Earthshaker being one of the top picks, we saw him yesterday also, and finally we see a lifestealer into this game. Now, I love this pickup because it's what Reckoning Infinity actually needs. They didn't really have anybody sustain all that damage coming in from Reckoning Esports, and lifestealer is a great example to go ahead and make that easy for them. It also gives them an opening that when he starts fighting, he could just, go in and come out and go in again. And that means that the Ancient Apparition has a good opening time to send out his ultimate into the fight. Also, Sand King gets that time on the Burrow Strike. For now, Reckoning Esports getting worried about the mid lane a little bit. Going to just go and ban out that Tinker. And hopefully, we're going to see another mid-hero getting banned out here from Reckoning Infinity.
Angela, we haven't seen a Timbersaw in ESL so far, right?
Yeah, he got a little bit of nerf in the 7 point. He got a little bit of nerf. People don't really like him that much.
Anymore after even seeing that amazing 4-man kill wrapped by OD Pixel.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was death on demand. And they banned out a Juggernaut here.
They're going to ban out the Juggernaut, and that means Infinity is looking to pick their mid now. It mostly will be a Templar Assassin. They like to play that hero quite a bit in the mid lane. Also fares decently well against the OD, but I think a Viper would make that a 100% win in the mid lane, because I hardly know heroes who can sustain themselves against OD, and if I had two in mind, it would be Viper and Templar Assassin. And they're going to take some time. Maybe even the DK. The DK could fit into this draft for Reckoning Infinity. It works well with the Sand King, with the Ancient Apparition. And they're going to pick up a Lina. Okay. This is a pick that...
this match is going to go for long.
I'm a little worried about Reckoning Infinity at this point. I mean, picking up the Lina against the OD, okay, fine. It's a good idea, unless she's hoping that she's constantly having this fourth role support coming from the Earth Spirit. But if she is not going to be able to sustain, that OD is going to really get a lot of farm. And I don't see this game going more than 30 minutes if this OD gets really fat. And finally, Reckoning Esports is going to pick up their... I always say TB and he's never picked. And there's one day that I don't say Terraplane, he gets a pickup. I really like Reckoning Esports draft. They're just going to completely just keep roaming around this map and taking down towers.
It's a very free game now for Reckoning Esports.
Definitely. I mean, if they are looking to finish this game in the first 25 minutes, Reckoning Esports have a great draft here. All you need to do is give that Terrorblade about, say, 20 minutes of good farm, and then he will just see him going around the map and doing a lot of damage. That's it.
Well, that's what we have from the analyst desk. Let's move over to the game itself and see what's in store for us there.
Definitely.
May the best team win.
We are here and we are live with another day in the summer season of the ESL India Premiership. This is phase 1 and we've got Reckoning Esports facing off versus Reckoning Infinity. Two teams, same organization. I'm sure they've played versus each other a bunch, so there's going to be a lot of heavy counter stratting going on. I don't know. I last saw chat saying someone got outdrafted. But looking at the draft, there isn't enough control for the lifestealer. And now that I think about it, they've got nothing that can stop him from just popping his rage and deeping out of there. So I expect this lifestealer to get huge. The Terrorblade, I don't know. I don't see answers for the Terrorblade either. And straight as we load into the game, we got a pause going. And that's going to give me a little bit of time to just quickly run through the lineups here and get ourselves oriented with both these teams. On the side of... Excellent. Okay, so Moon is Reckoning Infinity. I know Moon. Okay, so on the side of Reckoning Esports, we got Terblade. He's going to be played by Dot. World Fab is going to be handling the Underlord Rubik in the hands of a name that I can't read. Takagi will be playing that OD, and that leaves us with On My Own playing the Earthshaker. On the other side of the river for Reckoning Infinity, we got Moon playing the Lina, Avada playing the Ancient Apparition, Losing My Mind playing that Lifestealer, Cock on the 4 position, Earth Spirit, and I'm done on the Sand King. Both drafts can ask certain questions of each other. This Lina pick. There was a time when Lina was picked a lot, and she actually did do better than the OD. I don't think she gets too bothered by the OD. I don't think OD is ever going to get close enough to really start working in some damage with the Arcane Orbs, so she's going to be okay at mid. The Terblade can output damage on the Lifestealer from range with the Metamorphosis, but then you got a vehicle. You got the Sand King, who should be able to take the Lifestealer up close and personal, and with his Rage active, there isn't really any control. No one, like I mentioned earlier on, can really stop this Lifestealer when he pops the Rage and looks to TP out. So he can even be a bit greedy about just keeping the lanes pushed. But there is a fair amount of ways to control this TP. You got the Sand King. Straight away gets blocked at his own bounty rune, and Dot, he's got to be careful. Doesn't want to die at level 1. He's put his first kill point into Reflection, and that's going to be enough to hold back the Sand King in the Earth Spirit. Up top, Underlord. I think he's going to be okay. The Lifestealer does... I mean, his lifesteal is a percentage of the enemy's max health. So he's got that working for him, and there is certainly kill potential once the AA puts a point into the Chilling Touch, which he's already committed to early on. So he's going to try and harass out the Underlord as much as possible. We are seeing some sort of a dual lane coming up from Reckoning Infinity. It is the Sand King down bottom. I said dual lane, but Earth Spirit moves up top as the Rolling Boulder, and Wolfhav just going to TP out of them. Mid lane, Moon versus Takagi, and I think I'm somewhat expecting Moon to pull ahead in this lane. Does end up missing the deny on the range creep, but this is the thing. Lina can keep outputting the deeps, has plenty of mana to work with, and we might even see a solo kill. It is possible if the OD steps woefully out of position. Down bottom, I don't see the Sand King getting too much done here. He's got to be extremely careful. He gets caught out. He could end up falling. Dot. He's hit level 2, and they see the Sand King. TPs are coming in. It is the Earth Spirit who's read this moment pretty perfectly. I'm done. Does have the Power Strike, quick telekinesis, but here's the Terblade. With the Metamorph looking to turn things around, I'm done. Will end up falling in Kark. 6 seconds on his Rolling Boulder. He's got to get himself out of here. He's got a Fairy Fire if need be. He's being blocked from the north, so he has no choice but to move deeper and deeper into the Radiant Tier 1. Gets blocked by the Earth Spirit, and Dot. I mean, if I was the Terblade, I would like my support to leave that kill for me, but it's the Rubik who picks it up. It's going to pull him a bit closer to his boots. Good news for the Underlord, though. The wave's pushing in. The Ancient Apparition hasn't done enough to control the creep equilibrium, and the Underlord's going to find some EXP here. The Sand King still stuck at level 1, and this is just getting worse and worse here for I'm done. Gets caught out with the telekinesis. Tries to get active with the burrow. He's going to be okay. But look at this. You got 2 range creeps. The wave's pushing in, and the Underlord's finding some level, some EXP. All he needs to do is move towards that Soul Ring or the bottle, and then he can keep spamming the Firestorm every now and then. He can also occasionally move into the jungle. Sand King not having the best time here. Still level 1. And it's going to be forced to pop his Salvia. Dot just chasing and forcing that mango out of the Sand King. Well, it's clear of both Reckoning Esports and Reckoning Infinity. World5 is coming out on top. We know which organization has the better offlaner, and seems as if the mid lane was starting to lean in favor of the leaner. Reckoning Esports recognizing this, calling for a rotation, not finding the kill though. And this shouldn't be happening. I mean, this shouldn't be happening. World5 finds a kill, and he's pulling the dire creep wave. The supports on the side of Reckoning Infinity. I saw this the last time around when they played Signify as well. I was a little disappointed with the 4 position plays. I mean, sure, you think of the 4 position, you think of heroes or players that roam around a lot, get a lot done. But if nothing else, you gotta win 1 out of your 3 lanes, and Kark isn't really securing any lane. But good news for the Sand King. The bottom wave is starting to push. He's hit level 2 after that 1 death on him, and he's gonna find more under tier 1 tower. The problem for the Sand King is around the 5-minute mark when that siege creep spawns, we might see Reckoning Esports just start pushing and trying to take down this tier 1 with the Metamorphosis. That is a possibility for Reckoning Esports. I'm done. Blocked off by the Fisher, looks to run the Boulder Smash. Gonna buy him some time, and Dot, low on mana, will not end up pursuing. Reckoning Infinity. They're having a hard time in the off lane, but the mid and top lane is going rather well. I mean, the cores are finding farm. They haven't shut down the enemy off laner, but Lifestealer, he's on top of the net worth charts. 2,900 gold. Losing my mind, going uncontested here in the safe lane, and I think Reckoning Infinity, they're trying to fix this off lane. They're thrown in body spot him, Kark in about a pop a smoke. And they're moving towards the bounty room. They might find the Earthshaker's already found his arcane boots. Perfect rolling boulder. With the boulder smash, they'll find the kill. Dot ends up dodging that gank. I like this adjustment coming out from the side of Reckoning Infinity. They've recognized that the safe lane's going okay. They're trying to fix the off lane as much as possible. Just help out the Sand King. And he's getting some alone time. He's got that point in Caustic. But this doesn't mean it. I don't think he's going to get away scot-free. Okay. Fortunately for him though, the Earthshaker not holding on to detection. The mid lane. OD not looking that good here. And yeah, I spoke of this. Back in the day, Lina was one of the better heroes versus the OD. Down bottom, this Earthshaker keeps running down. I'm done and I'm done. Trying to find his way out of here. He's got the Sandstorm coming off. Cooldown. Dot doesn't have the Metamorphosis, and even if he did, it wouldn't be in his best interest to commit it. Kark. I make the Infest play early on. They've got this Deep Observer one. And they should sense where the Underlord is. They drop the Ice Vortex. World5 moving further north. The Rolling Boulder though. Committed on the Rubik. And with the Gold Feet, they'll find the kill. Reckoning Infinity. Finding small pickups here and there. Primarily supports. Both their kills so far have been on the Rubik and the Earthshaker. But it isn't the end of the world. It's gold for the Earth Spirit. It's EXP for the Earth Spirit. And I think as a 4 position, you want all the XP that you can get. Considering that you're not getting much on the bounty runes, you want to find your XP somewhere. But Reckoning Esports, I mean, the support movements, they're clearly telling us a story here. They've recognized that this Lina is a problem. They're going to cordon her off, and with the Astral, Takagi will find himself that kill. Nothing that Kark in the Ancient Apparition could do to keep her, the Lina alive. And Sand King, he's finding some space in the midst of all this. They switched lanes as well. They've put the Lifestealer bottom. And Sand King, I think he might find the Earthshaker. Your Lifestealer does have the face boots, but on my own, recognizes the fact that there's nothing to cancel his TP, just gets the hell out of there. Up top, Dot commits the Metamorphosis, and he's looking for the tier 1 Dara. Water caught in the trees, the Firestorm committed. And Water, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Does have another Tango, but he's really blocked off here, and Wolfav will find himself a kill. Moon looking really good in this mid lane, having a solid net worth advantage over the enemy mid laner. Does find the LSA and the Dragon Slave, but on my own is going to be absolutely okay. The Astral in the nick of time, controlling the Earth Spirit. Kark dropping low, and with the Arcane up, they find the kill. Down bottom, Wolfab. He's defending his tier 1 as well. So Reckoning Esports, a couple of key things going in their favor. They found the tier 1 up top. They're going to get the deny on the tier 1 bottom, which is somewhat significant considering the change to tower bounty of late. And yeah, Reckoning Infinity. They're going to try and find some sort of a response here. Wolfab just channeling the Dark Rev Rubik, being controlled. The Uber comes through, and all of them get the hell out of there. I'm done. Barely escaping, will not end up surviving. He chills in the Firestorm a bit too long, and I'm done. Ends up falling. I think the other key thing that I wanted to talk about was that the OD versus Lina lane, it was already favoring the Lina. They found that one kill on the Lina. That's okay. But then you go mid and you give OD another kill. Look at it. The net worth, it shifted back in favor of Takagi. And I think whatever effort Moon put in to try and win his lane, and he was doing a fairly good job. It's all been nullified now. And Reckoning Infinity, they've got to find this OD and try and find a pick off. And they're doing exactly that. Quick smoke rotation, Kark with the rolling boulder. On point is always the boulder smash, and with the Laguna, they'll bring down the OD. They're chasing for more. The Ice Vortex slowing down the Earthshaker, and a perfectly timed Geomagnetic Grip sets up for the Lifestealer. Reckoning Infinity, making the plays when it matters the most. They end up finding both the OD as well as the Earthshaker. Great stuff coming up from Kark on the Earth Spirit. I mean, this is not something one says often, but as a 4 position, and especially as somebody playing the Earth Spirit, he's goddamn freaking skilled, but he's just got to be careful as to what he does with his time in the laning phase. I'm done trying to find some sort of a recovery here. And down bottom, I missed that. Apologies, boys. The Rubik ended up falling. This Earthshaker, he is chasing this Sand King all the way across the map, trying to shut down the Sand King as much as possible. Lifestealer is going for the Radiance. We'll get back to that a bit later, because at mid, Kark once again sets up on the OD, shuts down Takagi. And somehow, I'm not really sure how, but Reckoning Esports still have a 2000 net worth advantage. Something doesn't quite make sense here. But Moon, he's on the hunt. Does bump into the Underlord. Wolfab Moving across the map with the hood. The LSA will miss the infest damage. Won't connect. Worldfab will just commit the Dark Rift and get the hell out of there. He actually ends up cancelling it. Avada moving through the enemy jungle, drops an observer ward. This should be an easy D-ward. I think they know about this, and Rubik does end up stealing the Ice Vortex. 13 minutes in, no one really coming out with a huge net worth advantage. It is 2,000 in favor of Reckoning Esports. I want to assume this is Tower Gold, because this is a combination of Tower Gold and how underfarmed the Sand King is in comparison to the Underlord. The Underlord, he's doing a lot of heavy lifting in the network department, and he's got this early pipe at 13 minutes in. So it's pretty obvious that Reckoning Esports, they want to fight early. Dot does bump into Moon, and Moon is going to be okay, but the Fisher's there. Rubik steals the LSA, looks to land it onto Do, lands it onto no one, and both Kark and Moon will get away. That could have been a great LSA coming out from the Rubik, but he doesn't quite connect then. Reckoning Infinity, they're thanking the stars here. Moon trying to build into that early Yule Scepter. I think this is also the kind of I think this is also the kind of game where you might see Moon build into a Shadow Blade and then a Silver Edge. The Silver Edge makes particularly great sense versus the Underlord. And I think he'll be willing the Shadow Blade either way, just to go and find these pickoffs every now and then.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Takagi, he's searching for his 4-star. He's certainly going to need a BKB as well. And Avada just keeps... What is Avada doing even? I don't know. I played a lot of pubs with Moon, and I think Moon has a phrase for this. It's called garden gaming. Avada just walking around the map, trying to get wards down on his own. I think the good thing is that he baited out a sentry. Rubik was looking for the D-ward, but he didn't get it. And it seems as if Reckoning Esports haven't taken note of this observer board as well. Kark though, he's hit 6, he's got the Urn of Shadows. I'm pretty certain he's going to be looking to upgrade that into a Spirit Vessel just to deal with the Underlord. And try and shut down both the Underlord and the Terrorblade. For now though, with the Lifestealer infested inside of him, Reckoning Infinity, they're on the hunt for a pickoff. They're going to smoke in the enemy jungle. And yeah, I think that's been spotted out. One of these Radiant Observer wards did spot it out, and yeah, Reckoning Esports is just going to go back and try and farm. The Lifestealer, where is he? Yeah, so he's got the Radiance complete. I like the Radiance pickup for a number of reasons. It is late game insurance. The evasion is particularly good versus both the OD and the Terrorblade. And they're going to find Worldfab here. The Ice Blast on point. Gonna try and shut down this Underlord, and Losing My Mind has the damage. The question is, does he get the hell out of here? Earthshaker not even bothering with the Fisher. Rubik ends up missing on the LSA.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This tier 2 tower is somewhat significant as far as map control is concerned. It's gonna allow you to control the Radiant neutrals. Gonna allow you to control the Radiant jungle. Look at TPs coming into the shrine. And generally force Reckoning Esports to clump up a bit more. And I spoke about this during the draft. He can keep doing this. He can just rage TP, and there's nothing that Reckoning Esports can do to punish this. Moon, he's got the Yule Scepter. He's going for the Bloodstone. And yeah, the problem is, I think this Bloodstone is coming a bit late. I'm not sure if it's gonna be coming online soon enough. You pick up a Bloodstone because you want to snowball, because you want to get charges. I think it's already the 20-minute mark. I'd like to see Moon build something like a Shadow Blade, go hunting for pickoffs, force the Rubik and the Earthshaker to invest more in sentries. Reckoning Esports. I mean, they're the ones investing in sentries. They're looking for these D-words. They aren't finding them. Earthshaker dropping low the Astral. Takagi keeping his Earthshaker alive, but Moon can line up the LSA and he will. Takagi not even trying to punish Moon there. Can't really do too much. But look at this, Reckoning Infinity. This lifesteal is just grouping up, punning away on tier 1s. No contest at all from Reckoning Esports. Cock goes in the grip and the magnetize on to do the Battle Strike. Catches only the Underlord. The Ice Blast coming through Rubik with the stolen Battle Strike has the potential to turn things around. They've controlled the Lifestealer. They want to bring him down, and there's the Rubik. Stolen Battle Strike. Sanity's Eclipse. They'll bring down one. But they've lost the Rubik and the Terrorblade. They're searching for Cock, and there's the Earthshaker. Fisher, Enchant Totem. Plenty of control to bring him down. It's a 2-for-2 exchange. And a pretty even one at that. But Reckoning Esports, they lose the tier 1. They end up denying it. But they lose the tier 1. Sand King, he did have the potential for a 2-man burrow. But only ended up using the Burrow Strike on 1. Earthshaker undercover with, I mean, he's got the Smoke of Deceit, he's got a Blink Dagger, and he might spot Reckoning Infinity make this play. Okay, so Reckoning Infinity smoke up as well. They see the OD up top. Sand King, he's got to be extremely careful. He finds the Underlord and they'll try and bring down World Fab. Defensive Astral though. Takagi looking to build up the Sand King with the Sandstorm, buying time but not long enough. The Fisher and the Pit of Malice does control him. Dot is here, but the Battle Strike will come through. I'm done. Gives away the Battle Strike to the Rubik, who whiffs on it though. The grip coming through, the Boulder Smash catches to Cock. He's got to be careful, the OD. Well, the OD is trying to do the best he can, but World Fab being run down here, losing my mind with the Radiance, finds the kill while the OD TP's out of there. Terrorblade did end up falling as well. Moon is on the hunt for more. Nope, not gonna chase. Moon getting closer and closer to his Bloodstone. Missing gold for one component and he's gonna be okay. But this Terrorblade, I mean, he ends up dying before he gets anything done in these fights. Moon just bursting him down in the previous engagement, committing the Laguna, finding the kill, and 21 minutes in, 11-12, the scores dead even, no one with too much of a lead as far as net worth is concerned. Have Reckoning Esports, have they gone into damage control mode? Have they recognized that they can just wait, let this TB get farmed and see what happens then? Cock, he's got his own Blink Dagger. I think that Infest was spotted. There was a Radiant Creep giving Reckoning Esports vision of that. I'm done though. On the hunt. I mean, ever since the Sand King has picked up his Blink Dagger, Reckoning Infinity, they've been the ones constantly looking for pickoffs, and Reckoning Esports, they've been reacting. I'm done. Even finds himself in Invis Rune. A lot of dire vision and an Invis Rune for the Sand King. I don't think he should break his Invis for the Earthshaker, but he's going to. He could have gone on the Underlord, but he'll take the Lifestealer up to him. Rubik with the Stolen Burrow, controlling the Sand King, but not the Lifestealer. Chomps away, brings down the Underlord, and the LSA is there. Moon gets himself a triple and gets himself a bunch of Bloodstone charges as well. I mean, Dot as well as the OD not even choosing to be a part of that fight. And Reckoning Infinity. With the Solar Crest, they're going to move towards Roshan. Earthshaker does end up respawning, but I'm done. Blinks forward into the Radiant Shrine. I mean, I know that these are both teams of the same org, but I really can't tell who's an A roster here and who's a B roster. Both teams looking pretty darn close. 23 minutes in. I'm going to give the slight edge over to Reckoning Infinity here. And a lot of that edge is coming from this, I don't know, 15, 16, 17, how old is Moon? This 17-year-old kid from Pune. Sitting at the top of the net worth charts. Reckoning Infinity dictating the tempo of the game. March down the mid lane. Ice Blast comes through. Won't really connect, but Moon's got to be careful. The Pit of Malice. And that Dragon Slave from the Rubik doing a fair amount of work.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
But yeah, Reckoning Esports find a tier 1 tower. It is only the tier 1 tower at bottom. Does allow access to the jungle, but
Dire's bottom tower
it's okay. At mid though, you got the grip coming through. Lifestealer giving chase. The Astral is there. Lifestealer switches targets, moves on to the OD, but the rage is worn off. 2-man power strike coming out from the Sand King. Pit of Malice controlling them. Quick Dark Rift coming out from the Underlord. The Laguna committed. Takagi looking to get into the Dark Rift. Gets the heck out of there. No earn charges unfortunately in the Earth Spirit. Otherwise he would be healing up his Lifestealer. However, losing my mind, he's got the Aegis. And Reckoning Esports, they're moving down the mid lane. They haven't expended any cooldowns. The Boulder Smash is there. Quick Fisher. An Echo Slam catching no one but Thin Air as losing my mind. Pops the rage, laughs and runs away. Well, I think Moon has another word for that kind of an Echo Slam. And I'm probably the biggest criminal when it comes to this. I think he calls it a selfie. He's used it many a time when I play the Earthshaker. But Reckoning Infinity, they're starting to group up. I really like this. It's not that they have a huge net worth advantage, but they've got the Aegis. They should look to force the issue, take the gamble. All they've got to be careful about is saving that Lifestealer when his rage wears out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's primarily upon the Sand King in the Earth Spirit to ensure that this Lifestealer doesn't end up dying once his rage wears out. But yeah, Reckoning Infinity, they're gonna find a tier 2. Dot, he's been dodging these battles. He's got his Dragon Lance and Yasha and 5,200 gold. I think he picks up a BKB. That's what his team needs from him. And yeah, someone needs to give this man an own charge. Hawk. I'm done. Well, feeling the pain of the Terrorblade illusion. Dot still holding on to that goal. Does pick up his BKB. But I'm not sure why he committed his Metamorphosis to farm Ancients when he already had that much gold. This is telling me that Reckoning Esports do not want to fight. The problem is, if Reckoning Infinity look to force a fight right now, Reckoning Esports will be fighting without the Metamorphosis. Lifestealer though, I mean, he's been spending a lot of time infested in this Earth Spirit, which I don't mind, but he's starting to fall off as far as net worth is concerned. I mean, you can see that Reckoning Infinity is still a new team that's working out the Kings. The Lifestealer wants to fight, but the others don't want to. Just as I say that, mid lane, nothing's going to connect as Takagi does manage to use his Hurricane Pike and get himself out of there. Kark missing on the boulder smash. Still lurking in the trees.
I'll take your tribute.
That's okay. He knew his Aegis was timing out, so he gets the regen. And Reckoning Infinity. Haven't done too much the past couple of minutes, but that's definitely better than forcing something. Losing my mind, he's got the Asha complete on that Lifestealer. Sand King goes in, gets the burrow, it's on the OD epicenter. Not committed, Sand King being controlled, forced down as well. The grip is there, controls the Rubik. They're trying to burst down the OD, but the Dark Rift is there, and with his BKB, he's staying alive. The Rubik, not that fortunate, will end up falling. It's a support for a support, but Reckoning Infinity. Look at them knock down the Tier 2s, but the Echo Slam catches Reed with the Eclipse. They'll bring down the Lifestealer. They're chasing for more. Moon dropping low. Takagi with the Arcane Orb gets himself a triple kill. Earthshaker showing up in style. And Takagi is chasing for more. He's found the Ancient Apparition. And Takagi gets that kill as well. Now Reckoning Esports being extremely patient about it. Are now marching down the mid lane as Reckoning Infinity force a fight around the tier 2 and don't find too much.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Problem is, Reckoning Infinity, they don't want to give up these tier 2s. It is still map control. And they need to keep them alive. Both teams, they're going to try and contest the next Roshan as heavily as possible. Ice Blast, scouting things out. The Earthshaker. He's getting his Echo Slam up cooldown in a minute. Terrorblade has got that Sanjay Asha complete since that BKB dot. All that he's been doing is just farming and farming away. Not participating in these team fights. And Lifestealer looking for that Sanjay Asha. Again, all Reckoning Esports have to do in these team fights is just kite out the duration of the rage and then immediately control and burst down that Lifestealer. That's all they have to do. Losing my mind, I think he possibly try and build more armor here. Maybe something like an AC. But he keeps infesting in this Earth Spirit and he's constantly searching for pickoffs. The problem is that Reckoning Infinity, they haven't got too much information coming through from their observers. So they aren't really seeing where Reckoning Esports are, and they just keep infesting blindly into the Earth Spirit, hoping that someone from the side of Reckoning Esports is out of position. They've got a smoke. And that's the only way they're going to fight pickoffs. They have no vision. They don't see what Reckoning Esports are up to, but they do sense that Roshan is on the cards. World Fav on the Underlord is pushing out mid. Up top, Earthshaker goes in with the Fish of the Grip, coming a second too late. Roshan gonna respawn in a good 2 minutes, so both teams have got a lot of time. Oh, but look at this. The Earthshaker goes in with the Echo Slam. Quick Power Strike and the Grip as well. Power Strike stolen by the Rubik. Ice Blast coming through. The Power Strike controlling Am down on the Sand King. Lina trying to get something done, but the LSA will miss. Losing my mind, moves forward, but his rage has worn off. He's trying to bring down Takagi, but not. With the Metamorphosis pounding away on the Lifestealer, does manage to bring him down. Awada will fall as well in Takagi. Wicked Sick chases for more. Wants Kark on the Earth Spirit, but this is a pointless chase while elsewhere. Dot searching for Moon. Lotus Orb upon him. Doesn't have the reflection. Needs a little bit of control. And there's the Rubik with the stolen Power Strike. Toggles the Null Field offensively. And Reckoning Esports recognize that the chase is futile. Quick burst strike coming out from the Rubik. I think boulder smash stolen by him as well. But Reckoning Infinity, they're gonna disengage. Even though Reckoning Esports were woefully out of position, it was a 3v5 engagement at that point, and without the lifestealer, they just don't feel confident. Reckoning Esports though, they're the ones feeling fairly confident. They're marching down mid. And they're gonna Dark Drift all the way back home. Deal with the push bottom. Moon, he's got his BKB complete. So, the best thing that Reckoning Infinity can do right now is find a pick off bottom, push out bottom, force rotations bottom, and get started on Roshan at the exact same time. Instead, Moon, force to pop his 10-second BKB, looks to turn the LSAs at Takagi. Healthy with that forced up. Dot in the pit, gets the reflection going. I'm done. It's gonna be okay, but Roshan has respawned. And we're gonna see both teams dance around the pit, trying to win that one team fight that's going to probably decide the outcome of this game. World Fab, he's got to make sure that he doesn't get caught off split pushing. Reckoning Esports looking for a pick of themselves. Lifestealer is going to be careful. Has the rage, has the TP. He's going to get out of there. He's going to be okay until the OD picks up something like a Scythe of Vice. The Lifestealer is going to keep doing that. Once again, Reckoning Esports, they have this opportunity. They could push out bottom a bit and get started on Roshan either way. But yeah, they're taking Roshan, and Reckoning Infinity don't even know what's going on. Lifestealer uses Rage TP to get out of that situation. But he's in no position to contest Roshan, and now Reckoning Esports with Aegis and Cheese, they're marching down the mid lane. Dot, he's picked up a Skadi as well. Gog, prepping for that perfect backstab. Gets the boulder smash, the magnetize, and the grip on it too. Power strike will whiff. I'm done. Having a particularly rough day, but with that pipe, that magnetize means nothing. And Reckoning Esports, they can go back in. What's the play from Reckoning Esports? I mean, if you're Reckoning Infinity, you can probably be doing two things right now. You can be farming buyback, just in case they come marching down the mid lane and you're forced to fight and you end up losing that fight. At least you got buyback. The other thing you can do is find a pick off and ensure that Reckoning Esports are never being given the opportunity to group up as 5. Instead, I don't know. They're moving around as 5. They aren't doing too much with it. And Reckoning Esports will try and take down the last tier 2 tower on the map. Giving up this tier 2, I think it's kind of significant. I mean, Reckoning Infinity, they've got no choice but to defend their high ground. But they've lost all other towers. And Reckoning Esports might even come marching up high ground. Production, I think now would be a good time to drop down the buyback status. Dot just pops his metamorphosis. Moon gets controlled in a bit of malice. There's a quick power strike returned by the Lotus Up. Moon controlled by the Fisher, but on the back lines. Lifestealer goes in. He wants one, and it's no Rubik that he'll find. He moves on to World Fab, doing a fair amount of work with the Solar Crest, but is Infest on cooldown. The damage too much. Losing my mind will end up falling in. Car can only watch. Echo Slam coming out from the Earthshake as he brings down Moon. Moon, with all those Bloodstone charges, will still take a good 49 seconds to respawn. And the Fisher, it's going to control the Sand King. It's all falling apart for Reckoning Infinity here. But losing my mind with the buyback, wants to fight somehow. Astral, keeping the Earthshaker alive while Dot runs down the Lifestealer. Reckoning Esports, they want this kill. They want to die back on the Lifestealer. And if they do manage to force it, it could very well be the end of the game here. Barrack still standing bottom. Dot is going to come deal with it. But the Underlord with 160 bonus damage courtesy that Atrophy Aura will work on the tier 3 tower at mid. Moon is going to be respawning in a bit. How much can one Lina do? Burst Strike catches to the Ice Blast coming through. The Fisher holds back the Earth Spirit. Dark Rift just in case, but they've lost the Sand King. Reckoning Esports, if anything, should be looking to fight. But they're going to show some mercy. They're going to go back home. And even then, they take both the Earth Spirit and the Sand King down before going back home. They're going to go shop a bit and come back marching down the mid lane with a couple of new toys. Marching down top, rather. Moon, he's got the dead list complete. He's building towards a Bloodthorn. I don't know if evasion is the issue. Sure, True Strike and those crits will help, but I think someone's got to build a nullifier. The Lifestealer, he's really started dropping behind in terms of net worth. The Underlord getting ahead of him in the net worth charts.
Dire's top shrine is under attack. Dire's top shrine has fallen.
Losing my mind, pushing up the top lane, gets caught up by the telekinesis. The Power Strike is there. Amdon has got to be careful. Quick Lotus up, keeping the Rubik healthy. The Boulder Smash coming through, buys him some time. But the stolen Power Strike controls the Sand King as he ends up falling in. Caught on the wrong side of the Fisher, will fall as well. Reckoning Infinity try to take a fight outside their base and they end up dying. Moon pops his BKB. Well, they got the Rubik, but Dot still standing strong. Hasn't used the Sunder a single time in the game. Man's up. Man fights the Lifestealer. He's going to win this one. Moon ends up falling in base as well as Reckoning Esports. Well, they're going to come out on top today. Reckoning Infinity. They had their moments, but something tells me that Reckoning Esports is the more experienced side. They're the ones that don't crumble under pressure. Things didn't get off too well as far as the early game was concerned for them. But they held their own. They farmed the items. Dot just kept on farming. Lifestealer kept forcing fights, which was actually hindering his farm. And Reckoning Esports end up coming out on top today. That's it. As far as the Dota 2 broadcast is concerned, my name is Vivek. You can give me feedback, love, hate, like, dislike at facebook.com/VWWAK casting. But I think that's about it for now. I'm going to hand it over to our panelists. Angela and Vagish, would love to hear your thoughts on this one.
Welcome back, everybody, to the analyst desk here at the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League. Brought to you by, owned by HP, Intel, and HyperX, and presented to you by Nordwind Gaming and ESL.
Yes.
Very interesting game. Reckoning Esports doing exactly everything to the point. Everything was spick and span. Like, I mean, it was a Lego movie playing out in front of me. If I can add a little bit 2-cent flary stuff for my own, it was like a Lego movie. Not that Reckoning Infinity played bad. Please don't get me wrong, unless that's the recent trend apparently. If I don't pick a name.
If I had to just summon this game in like 5 lines, it would be the Reckoning Infinity started out beautifully.
Yeah.
I mean, the scoreline was pretty head-on till about like 20 minutes in game. To a point, I even thought a Reckoning Infinity would take this game because they did get that edge in the middle of the game. Once they got that Aegis on the lifestealer, things were faring pretty well for them. But I think the few flaws that they basically made was lifestealer was spending more time with the Earth Spirit trying to get ganks done. And I would have to give props to the support player from Reckoning Esports. His wards were spot on. He always knew where Reckoning Infinity was. And that kind of was easy for Reckoning Esports to build on, because even though they knew that their draft was a much later phase of the game, they made sure that their carry, the Terror Blade, got enough space to farm. And that is a place where I would talk about experience, because Reckoning Esports, why are they still above Reckoning Infinity, even for me at this given point, would be just because they have played this game with much more experience.
Yeah.
When you talk about wards, brilliantly placed, they really didn't take unnecessary fights. They knew at the beginning of the game there was this time when the Terror Blade got Ancient Apparition's blast right on him.
Yeah.
And that is the main reason why Ancient was even picked up. And I was somewhere worried that did they just make a mistake of picking a TB into an AA, which will cost them a loss. But after that, the TB never got a single blast on him. He made sure that he was always going inside the fight after the Ancient kind of used his ultimate. And that is where we talk about experience again, because the Ancient should have kept his ultimate, the Ice Blast, just for the Terror Blade, because that is why that hero is particularly picked up. And at given points of time, players kind of get a little frustrated, a little tired, they make wrong moves. So I wouldn't say that this game was Reckoning Esports playing fantastically well. Yes, they did. But Reckoning Infinity did play really well till the 25-minute mark, and then suddenly the lifestealer started not getting time to really get items. He was taking more fights. The Terror Blade took complete advantage of that
situation
and kind of moved around with the game. Also, Takagi, a brilliant OD player out there. I mean, he got his BKB up and running really quick and kind of helped his whole team sustain till the Terror Blade really came back into the fight and was able to do stuff. The Sand King, lovely burrow strikes coming in from him. He always got 2-man burrow strikes, and I would commend Moon here. Beautifully played on the Lina.
Yep.
In the mid lane also, I expected the OD to kind of hammer the Lina, but like Vivek also mentioned, Lina is a good counter against OD, and Lina was also getting the support from the Earth Spirit in the early game to kind of get that momentum going for herself and her team to kind of come and move forward. So summoning this up, I would just say that Reckoning Infinity just needs to watch this replay and see basically where they made their errors, and I think in the next game they will be much better, because it was not like they couldn't defeat Reckoning Esports. They were on par till a point. It was just that at one level above, Reckoning Esports just said, you know what, you guys are really aggressive right now. We're just going to take a step back, get our carry farmed, get everybody farmed, up and running, get that Blink Dagger on the Earth
and
Shaker,
then make that push.
and then make that play. And that's where they kind of took the game for themselves.
Alrighty then. So who's going to be your MVP?
I think I'll go to Takagi. He got... I was a little confused between Moon and Takagi because both of them played really good mid. But I'll give Takagi because his BKB timing was really good in most of the fights. Yeah.
Alright. Well, that sums up today's game of DOTA. We'll be back again tomorrow with more Clash Royale, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and again, DOTA. I don't know why I'm like calling it DOTA 2. But we will be coming back again tomorrow. Again, same time, same place, same people, but different games, and a hell lot of fun. Well, this is what we have for you guys. I'm your host, Wagij Gotslebhan.
And I'm Angela Gonzalez.
And we will meet you again tomorrow.
Yay, see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have a beautiful evening and keep gaming.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.